Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this world. Geaux Stros here. We've got a nice game one of a four-game series at home versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Ryan Gusto's on the mound today for the Stros. He's going to be facing Josh Lowe right off the bat. Right off. Actually, I think that's Josh Lowe and Brandon Lau. There's a Lowe and a Lau on this team. Maybe even another Lowe. There might be two Lows and one Lau. But I think it might be Josh Lowe and Brandon Lau. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but at least I remembered that. Augusto's counterpart on the mound today is going to be Shane Baz. Gusto is taking some more warm-up pitches right now. But I appreciate you all being here this early. I already got half a dozen people listening in. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Make sure you like the live stream when you have the opportunity. Oh, it's Josh Lowe. So I was right. Brandon Lau and Yandy Diaz. Top three batters due up in just a moment. Okay. There we go, guys. Leadoff pitch coming to Josh Lowe. Running outside. Ball one. Just a few inches outside. 96 miles an hour from Gusto. Let's get this party started. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Strike one. Good toss by Gusto. 95 miles an hour on that one. I did get up a little earlier today, so I didn't oversleep, but still started a little later than I wanted to. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. High and outside, just barely missing. Gusto starting low off with three similar pitches, just different locations. Here comes a 2-1. Just outside, maybe 3 or 4 inches. Ball three. 3-1. Here comes the 3-1. That's in there and hit hard to right field, but foul into the net. 3-2. Pardon me, I had to mute my microphone. Built out a sneeze. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Low check swings. They say he didn't go, and that's a walk. Full count walk. The high fastball missing the mark. That was sneeze number 2. You guys are lucky I was able to get to the mute button. Josh Lowe on first base. Ryan Gusto now pitching to Brandon Lau. That first pitch is right in there. 82-mile-per-hour changeup. Strike 1. 0-1 to Lau. Here comes the next toss from Gusto. That's hit hard to right field. It's going to be down for a hit. Lowe's easily going to get to third. Smith brings it in. Runners on the corners with no outs in the first inning. 12-game hit streak for Lau. Not a very good start for Gusto in the first inning. Hopefully he can calm down and get out of it without giving up any runs. Astros don't need to be down early to this team. Yandy Diaz is the next batter. Here's a pitch. Maybe an inch off the plate. 91-mile-per-hour cutter, 1 ball and no strikes. One and 0. Here comes the 10th pitch from Gusto this inning. This is hit up to right center field. That's going to be deep enough to score a run. Smith catches it. Lowe will tag and go in easily. Lau goes back to first base. 1-0. Oh, I still have A's on the board. What am I doing? I forgot to change the name of the team on the board. My bad. That is my bad, guys. 1-0 Rays. Next batter is Jonathan Aranda. High and outside, ball 1. Dozenth pitch of the game for Gusto right there, and that's a strike. 95 in the top of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, 1 runner on. How about McCullers yesterday getting 12 strikeouts? Pretty nice, huh? Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Gets the upper outer corner with a fastball. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Aranda. Next pitch on the way. 96 fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Check swing, ball in the dirt. Did he go? They say no. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Way high. Man, that almost got away from Diaz. Another full count. 3-2. Gusto about to be at 17 pitches so far this inning with the next delivery. Still looking for a second out. Got about 14 people following right now. Only 5 likes on the live stream. Big discrepancy there, guys. Help me get to 10 pretty quick. Very easy. Just like the live stream. Thank you so much. Here comes a... Nope. Gusto goes over to first base. Lau is back. Full count. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Lau was running on the 3-2. Did he get thrown out? Didn't matter. Ball 4. Runners on first and second with 1 out. 2 walks this first inning and a single given up. Josh Miller, the pitching coach, is going to take a little visit to Ryan Gusto. Gusto now knocking at the door of 20 pitches, giving up 1 run already, 2 walks this inning. Less than half of Gusto's pitches have been strikes. I now have 8 likes. Good job. But 18 viewers. Just a couple more likes to get to 10. Push those likes up, guys, if you will. First pitch coming up to Junior Caminero. Here's the pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone, strike 1, 96 miles an hour. Good toss there. I do appreciate the extra likes on the live stream. More likes equals more exposure equals growth. 0-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off down the right side. Line drive into the net. Oh, and 2's the count. The first 0-2 count that Gusto has had this entire inning. Gusto steps off the mound. Looks like Caminero was ready, but that's going to be a disengagement for Gusto. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Woo! That was low and outside, but right on that corner. Umpire did not call it, but look at that. Look at that. That was nice. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. Tapped, just foul down the third baseline. Count remains 1-2. Runners on first and second, guys, with 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 opportunity here for Gusto to get a strikeout. It's 1-2. Here's the pitch to Caminero. Fouls that one off. Count remains 1-2. 22 pitches now for Gusto in the first inning. Glenn says, arrived. Welcome, Glenn. Thank you for being here. Fox at Bat says, good day, go Astros. Yeah, it's a good day for sure. Good day to you. This one's fouled off again. Gusto sweating profusely right now. Got to 10 likes. I appreciate it, guys. We've got 21 people following. We can get that up to 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe 20. That would be awesome. Keep liking the live stream. Here's the pitch. High and inside. Ball 2. 97 up and in. Gusto's got the fastball going on. He's just not getting the placement that he wants. Here's the next pitch. Low. Runners do not advance as the ball goes bouncing out of Diaz's glove. Another full count for Gusto. This is the third full count of the inning. He's already walked 2 batters. Only 1 out. If he walks a batter right here, I wonder if they're going to try to talk to him on the mound again. Very unlike Gusto at the moment. Here comes the full count pitch. Runners are running. The ball goes up. They're going to have to run back to first and second. Caratini makes the play. Out number 2. Runners have to scramble back to first and second like cockroaches. As Gusto's fly ball in the infield turns the light on, the cockroaches scramble back to their respective bases. 1 run on the board this inning for the Rays on 1 hit, which is the single. Chandler Simpson comes to the plate. 2 away with 2 runners on. First pitch is low. The cutter missing a few inches down. 1-0. Here comes the next pitch. Right in there. A nice curveball. I haven't seen Gusto throw a curveball yet. 82 miles an hour. Strike 1. But it was right in there. Works for me. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Right on the outside edge. Good pitch. Another curveball. Heck yes. Work it. 1-2. One strike away from getting out of this inning. It'd be nice to get out of this inning with just 1 run given up. Little too far outside. He tried the curveball again, but he missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Simpson, the lefty. Left fielder. Batting .286. Here comes a 2-2 pitch from Gusto. Hit hard to right field, but Cam Smith should be there, and he is. Out number 3. So Gusto finally gets out of it after 30 pitches, guys. 30 pitches for Gusto in the first inning. Gives up 1 run. The Rays strand 2 runners on first and second. We go to the bottom of the first. The Astros down by just 1. Don't really care about that. What I care about is seeing at least 5 runs on the board for the Astros. That's what I expect from my team. 5 runs on this scoreboard for the Astros. Minimal in each game. Minimum. Let's take a look to see who's coming up to bat, and I'll give you the Astros lineup for today. Jeremy Pena is leading it off, followed by Isak the Ball Paredes, and then Jose Altuve. Today, Altuve is not playing in the field. He is the DH, so he will get a little break from field work. Caratini is also in the game today, but not as catcher. He is batting 4th, interestingly, and at first base. So that's our first baseman for today. Still waiting on word from the Astros about Christian Walker. He got smacked on the hand really hard. 96-mile-per-hour pitch right on his knuckles. Really hoping that he's all right. He was starting to drive some balls out of the park. Jake Myers is batting 5th, everyone. Playing in center field. Yainer Diaz, of course, is behind the plate today, batting 6th, followed by Cam Smith in right field, Zach DeZenzo in left field, and Mauricio Dubon at second base, batting 9th. Shane Baz is on the mound for the Rays. Currently facing Jeremy Pena. Here comes the pitch. Little outside. Good take. 95-mile-per-hour ball. Ross says, when Jordan coming back? You mean Jordan, our friend from the chat? I don't know. He was here yesterday. Jeremy Pena grounds that one to the shortstop. He scoops it up and fires to first. It was a nice little rip, but nothing doing. One away. That brings up Isaac Paredes. Isaac had a really great series against the Rays in Tampa. Fouls the first pitch off. A 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh. He took that one right in the lower part of the zone, but the umpire laid off. Got lucky. 1-1. Bank error in your favor. Collect a ball. Paredes steps out. I guess that non-call shook him up. Wow, the umpire called a ball. I got to call a timeout and think about that. Yeah, they're showing how Isaac Paredes in that series versus the Rays, the last one, he had 3 homers. Now that's in there, undoubtedly, for a strike, 98 miles an hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Wow, way up high, 87 miles an hour, almost got away from the catcher. Dice. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ross. Oh. Jordan. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about our friend from the chat. Jordan. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Who knows? They were talking about him running the other day. Isaac grounds it also to the shortstop, who fires over a replay of what Jeremy Pena just did. Literally the exact same thing. A ground out for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. Gusto might not have much of a break unless the Astros do the 2-out rally. The crowd cheers as the biggest little man in all of Houston comes to the plate. My hero, Jose Altuve. I really want to meet him one day. One day I would love to meet him. He rips it down the line, but caught. What a rip by Altuve. A line drive straight at the third baseman. It was crushed. And he caught it. Very first pitch. Altuve tried to ambush him, but the third baseman was right there. 3 up and 3 down. Shane Baz didn't need too many pitches to get through that inning. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 pitches. Gusto is at 31 pitches. And Baz is at 6. Oh, that's terrible. Let's hope that right now Gusto gets it locked in. But what I was going to tell you, Ross, is that, you know, when Jordan went out originally, they said he just had some hand discomfort, right? And, of course, just like all of the Astros injuries, the team announced, oh, you know, it's just some discomfort, and, you know, we expect him back soon and stuff like that. They underplay it. They make it sound like it's not that big of a deal. But then several days ago, they showed some footage of him, you know, doing some exercise and running around. And the coaches are like, yeah, you know, we got him out there running around and, you know, doing a little bit of exercise and this and that or whatever. So, you know, we're confident, you know, he's getting better. He'll be back soon. It's like, wait a second. If you've got hand discomfort, why are you not out there running every day anyway? Do you really stop running and exercising just because you have hand discomfort? Are you kidding me? If you can see my hands right now, over the past few days as I've been doing some work here at my house, I've got a couple of cuts on my knuckles, on my fingers, and those things don't keep me from doing other things. If I were a baseball player, I'd still be in the game. I can understand not being able to hold the bat, but you can still run and exercise. So I don't quite understand why they make it sound like he's coming back from a really bad injury. So I don't know what to tell you there, simply because the Astros aren't transparent when it comes to injuries. Top of the second, Gusto's back on the mound. Cameron Meisner is at the plate. Here comes the first pitch. Right in there, curveball on the outside edge. I think I missed the first pitch. Was there a timer violation? The count's 1-1. Yeah, I guess that was a timer violation. Here's the next pitch. Right in there. Nice curveball. So yeah, Gusto got a timer violation, so the first ball was charged to him. So the count is 1-2. Here comes the next pitch. This is hit up the middle. Myers is back. It looks like he should get it, and he does. Good play by Myers. One away. Good job, Mr. Baseball. Jose Caballero comes to the plate. Here's the first toss. Whoa, nice. He tries to climb the ladder and get that pitch, but he can't do it. The fastball getting by him for strike one. Casey says, cheers. Cheers to you, Casey. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's high also, but way too far inside. Oh, I just realized I still have the Athletics, the A's logo on my screen. I can't believe I forgot to change that. Why did I not change that? My bad. Next pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Caballero. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off and out of play, the 97-mile-per-hour pitch. Not able to sneak it by him that time. This scoreboard is brought to you by Houston Methodist. Man, there sure are a lot of church sponsors for the Astros. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Almost 2 feet high above the zone, and the count is even, 2-2. Caesar, welcome back. Says, all right, let's get things done. Stros, I agree. Or as one of my Chinese friends said to me years ago, I are agree. In the dirt. Another full count for Gusto. Gusto seems determined to throw his maximum number of pitches. He's at 40 now, with only 1 out in the second. He's had 4 of them. 4 full counts. Here comes the next pitch. High in the zone, fouled away again. Limited number of balls actually in the strike zone for Gusto today so far. Very uncharacteristic of him. The past couple of outings, he struggled keeping it in the zone for some reason, which is the total opposite of his normal MO. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Caballero. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to the left side. Paredes dives for it and gets it. Makes a throw to first and can't quite get there. Maximum effort by Paredes, but I think even if the throw had been on target, I think he still wouldn't have been able to beat him. Yeah. Let's take a look at how close it was. The dive and catch. That was a great catch by Isak. But man, even if the throw had been right on target, it wouldn't have gotten there in time. So there's a runner on first with one out. Matt Dice, the catcher, comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. On the outside edge, called a strike by the ump. He liked that one. Dice batting .212 today. He got traded from the White Sox just a couple days ago. Little toss over to first base by Gusto. Caballero is back. Hey guys, got 16 likes, just 4 more to get to 20 already. I'd appreciate you hooking me up with that. That'd be awesome to get to 20 this early. Here's a pitch. Caballero is still second. The throw is too late, looks like. He's safe. Not surprised. I might as well just start saying Caballero still second, and he takes it without even the throw result being shown. We never get these guys out. I think the Astros have just thrown out a few guys this whole season. I don't know what it is. Is it our pitchers? Pitchers take too long to get the ball to the plate. Next pitch, the ice is in the dirt. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes to Dice. Gusto goes to second real quick. Wow, Caballero wasn't really expecting that, it looks like. He's like, what in the world? You don't often see a throw to second, do you? Not very often. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Woo, nice strikeout. Finally, a nice strikeout by Gusto. 96 miles an hour. Right there above the zone. Dice goes after it. Can't get it. Likey. Me likey. Punch out. 2 away. Runner on second. That brings up Josh Lowe. Check swing, but it doesn't matter. That's in there. 96 miles an hour. Strike 1. Now Gusto's angry. Pitch angry, man. I want to see Gusto show some emotion here. Come on. Shut them down. The 48th pitch of the game right there. Just a little high, a few inches above the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. 27 people following along. Thank you so much. Push my likes up. Why do I only have 16 likes with 27 viewers? Come on, guys. Like the live stream. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Josh Lowe at the plate. His first at bat, he walked. Caballero and Simpson have the most combined steals for teammates this season at 34. That's pretty something. Just a little high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Josh Lowe might walk again right here. Gusto continues to have a little bit of control issues. Just get it in the zone, man. Here comes the 3-1. That's in there. Strike 2. 96 mile an hour fastball, just a couple inches above the bottom of the zone. Full count with 2 outs. Runner on second. Here comes the toss. Right in there and fouled off. Another fastball. Wow, that's unfortunate. My viewers were up to 28, and I only got 1 like out of it. Now it's back down to 24. You know, I haven't checked my statistics on the channel yet, but they say that typically, well, they call a timeout there. The batter steps out of the box. Josh Lowe takes a little breather. Looks like Gusto needs it too as he wipes the sweat off. But I would imagine that my channel's not much different. Most people that are following or listening in are not subscribed, so subscriptions are greatly appreciated, and likes as well. They help grow the channel. Here's the pitch. There we go. Foul tip, strike 3 on the 96-mile-per-hour pitch. No walk for you this time, Mr. Lowe. Gusto finally gets a couple of strikeouts, and he shuts that inning down, thankfully. But man, his pitch count is a little out of control now. How many pitches does Gusto have so far? Let's take a quick look. 53. Isn't that insane? Shane Baz has 8 pitches. Gusto has 53, guys. Now, of course, Baz hasn't yet pitched the next inning, the second inning. But still, something tells me he isn't going to pitch more than 40 pitches in the next inning to get caught up with Gusto. I mean, you never know. You never know. Fingers crossed. If Baz has to throw 40 or more pitches in this inning, in the bottom of the second, I will be one happy camper. 18 likes on my channel. So disappointing. My viewers shot up to almost 30 suddenly, and I only gained 2 likes out of that. And now we're back down to 21. Where did the other people go? Are they Rays fans? Or just disappointed Astros fans? What do you guys think? I don't know. We are in the middle of the second inning. Just waiting on the commercial breaks to end. I'm going to heat myself up a little more water. Reheat the water. Make myself a second cup of coffee. But this time, I'm going to add myself a couple of creamers to it. Get a little flavor. Baz is back on the mound, facing the Batman Caratini. He decides to lay off that one and take a strike. An 82-mile-an-hour knuckle curve. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Long delay. I'm going to have to get used to that. High. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Caratini. What do you like? The linguine, the spaghetti, the fettuccine? No, I like the Caratini. Here comes the 1-1. Hit high in the air. Looks playable in the infield. Shortstop and third baseman is over. Third takes it. Out number 1. Okay, I did hear a little update about Christian Walker, just so you guys know. There he is right there. They just mentioned it. If you haven't heard about Christian Walker, he got smacked on the hand in the previous game. A couple of days ago. 86-mile-per-hour pitch right on the knuckles. Jake Myers is at the plate, fouls that one away for strike 1. But as they said, Christian Walker is in the dugout and available for the game, so he's okay. He can play. He's just getting a rest. So if that's true, if what the Astros staff says is true, he's okay. Just a little low and outside for ball 1. Good take by Myers, and the count is even. Myers was on absolute fire, has slipped a little bit most recently, down to 293. He's no longer batting over 300. Here comes the 1-1. He grounds that one straight to the shortstop again. Are you kidding me? The Astros are in Groundhog Day mode. just grounding out to the shortstop over and over again. Jeremy Pena, Isaac Paredes, and now Jake Myers have all grounded out to the shortstop. But now we have 2 outs. We can rally. 2-out rally. As Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. Which Diaz are we going to see today? Yainer Shiner? Shiner Yainer? Or are we going to see Yawner Diaz? First pitch is low, almost in the dirt. 99 miles an hour. Ball 1. And that sound means my hot water is ready. Second cup of coffee incoming. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Low and away. Another 99-mile-per-hour pitch. Just missing the mark. A couple of good takes by Yainer, not going after those. You don't have much time to think about it when it's 99 miles an hour. Kudos to Yainer for not swinging at those. Here's the next pitch. Another ground ball to the short. No, stop. The third baseman cuts it off. And he throws him out. He's like, no, heck no. No more Groundhog Day, says the third baseman. I want to take it. Multiple ground balls. Shane Baz has thrown almost no pitches in this game. I kid you not. Shane Baz has thrown 16 pitches in the first 2 innings. He has had to do the absolute minimal amount of work. On the other hand, his counterpart, Ryan Gusto, is knocking at the door of 55 pitches already. So after 2 innings, 53 pitches for Gusto, 16 for Baz. Somehow, the Astros are only losing 1-0. What a game. I don't know how many relievers are rested up for the Astros, but I feel like after the past couple of games, they should have a nice amount of relievers ready. Casey Jones, yes, the Batman, that's right. Victor Caratini. I'm now at 21 likes. Woohoo! All right. It's nice being at 21 likes just after the first 2 innings. Got to 10 likes in the first inning. Got to 20 likes in the second inning. I don't know if I'll get to 30 likes in the third inning, but hey, that would be really, really awesome. Actually, this whole season so far, I don't believe that I've gotten to 30 likes by the end of the third inning. Maybe by the 6th or 7th inning. I think the 7th inning I've gotten to 30 likes before this year. Last year, I actually had a lot more views. If you guys look at my analytics from last year, I had a ton of views in the last couple of months. Much, much higher than right now. More than triple what I have at the moment. Don't quite know what's going on. Maybe the games aren't as popular right now. Perhaps you guys can tell me that. Maybe the fans start paying attention to the games a lot more towards the end of the year. Crowd at Dykene Park is a little sparse. You can see the crowd there. It's a modest crowd. Brandon Lau is at the plate. He grounds it over to the right side. Paredes flips to Gusto, who covers. Good play there. First pitch, 1 away. How nice would it be to see the Astros get through this inning with the minimal amount of pitches? Three pitches for Gusto this inning and out of it. That'd be nice. Let's pray. It can happen. Yandy Diaz at the plate. That's in there. Strike 1. The Swiffer. Yandy did have a sacrifice fly, the only run that the Rays have so far this game. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Gusto. Hey, so there we go. The umpire got it. Not exactly where Yainer was expecting it, so he had to react quickly to get it, but the umpire knew that was a strike. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 toss. He swings at that one. Another ground ball. This one right at Paredes. Shouldn't be a problem. He fires over and gets it. Excellent, Mr. Isak, the ball. Out number 2. Let's keep the smooth train going, Mr. Gusto. Next opponent, Jonathan Aranda. Here's the pitch. Hit hard down the first base line and off of the first baseman there, Caratini. Aranda is at first off that one. I forgot who was at first base, so that's why I said off the first baseman. I forgot Caratini was over there. Walker is on break today, but that short hop couldn't be handled and just bounces off of Caratini's glove. Goes out into right field, so that's going to be a single more than likely for Aranda. Junior Caminero comes to the plate with one runner on. Here's the pitch. Little tap, tap, tappy. Down the third base side. Strike one. Oh and 1 is the count with 2 outs, runner on first. Here comes the toss. Low and outside. Even. 1-1. Sergio from Galveston, welcome. Let's go Astros, he says. Warm up that bullpen, we're going to need them. Yeah. As soon as Gusto gets to a certain pitch count, I think we're definitely going to have to bring him in early. Little check swing on the outside. He didn't go. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gusto just cleared 60 pitches this game. Here comes the next one. This one hit really hard out into left field, but should be playable. Whew, man, that looked dangerous at first, but DeCenzo's able to get underneath it and put it away. It was hit way up high instead of long. Gusto finally gets out of that inning. That's the smoothest one he's had so far. 4 batters, 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0. You know, if you look at it on paper, 3 hits for the Rays, 1 run through 3 innings. It's okay. It's not bad. Astros, of course, no hits, no runs. That's not good. But, man, when you look at the details of Gusto's pitches, excuse me, it looks like McCullers' numbers, where he's tossing more than 20 pitches per inning. Right now, he has how many pitches per inning? Let's see. Yeah, he's averaging almost 21 pitches per inning. He's at 62 right now total for the first 3 innings. That's Smurfing nuts. Smurfing nuts. I might have to let off another sneeze here. All right, those are the kind of sneezes I like, when I can feel it coming on and I've got plenty of time to mute the microphone so I don't destroy you guys' ears. Ah, my second cup of coffee doesn't taste as good as the first one, but it's okay. Cam Smith is going to be at the plate for the Astros in just a moment. Baz has retired the Astros in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Smith batting 7th is the next guy up. Let's see if Cam can crank it up Get this started for the Astros. We need somebody to crank it up, and Cam is the one to do it. He's got the correct name for the job. Here comes the first pitch. He takes it on the outside for strike one, the knuckle curve. Finding its mark. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. The 98-mile-per-hour fastball goes back into the crowd for strike two. Cam is down 0-2. Baz just now about to throw his 20th pitch of the game. Fouled off at the plate. Count remains 0-2. 17 people following along right now. Hey, got 25 likes. That's nice. Just 5 more to get to 30. Am I going to get to 30 before the end of the third inning? That's the big question. Here comes the 0-2. That'll be 1-2. 98 miles an hour, way up high. I don't know why, guys, but earlier I was thinking about this really old game. Do you guys remember the old game called Kung Fu? Did you ever play that, like in the arcade? Hit out to right field, all the way out to the wall at the warning track, and played by the right fielder. A nice drive by Cam. But it just died. Out number one. Biggest hit for the Astros so far this game. Everything else has been on the infield. Ground balls and a fly ball. Astros have grounded out a lot this game so far. DeCinzo comes to the plate. He had a monster home run the other day. Here comes the pitch. 98 right in the center of the plate. Strike one. Sergio says Gesundheit. Thank you. Here's the 0-1 pitch. High, out of the zone. Good take. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joey says, happy birthday, Casey Jones. 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Little check swing, but on the corner, strike one. Low and outside, but on that corner. Here comes the 1-2. DeCinzo takes that one very much in the same spot, but just a little lower, 100 miles an hour. Baz wants to change the ball. The count is even, 2-2. One away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Baz changes the ball and walks around on the mound a little bit. It's interesting because most pitchers, from what I've seen, whenever they get a new ball, they will rub it up. They'll take some time to rub it up and get a feel for it. But Baz just kind of takes his glove off and takes a break. He didn't rub the ball up really at all that time. Strange. Here comes the next toss. The 2-2 to DeCinzo. Up the middle and right to the shortstop, or the second baseman rather. And he makes a terrible play. He fumbles the ball, and then he makes a terrible throw to first base. Like a double error on the second baseman. What is he thinking? I can understand not being able to field it if it comes at you weird, but that throw? That was a crazy throw. Yeah, here, it bounced up, hit his glove, hit his leg, and then he makes a terrible throw to first base. DeCinzo is safe. Okay, so the Astros finally have a base runner on, thanks to an error. And that brings up Mauricio Dubon. Here's the pitch. Dubon takes that first pitch in the strike zone. The one time that Mauricio Dubon doesn't swing at the first pitch, and it's an 84-mile-per-hour changeup right in the zone. Go figure. 0-1 pitch on the way. 97 high and outside. Ball 1. Sometimes these plays are so strange, it's difficult to find the quick, right words to say to describe to you what's happening. It's a little challenging. Baz throws over to first. DeCenzo is back. Some courtesy boos from the crowd, though. But it's not nearly as loud as what I've heard in other stadiums, so that's all right. 1-1 strike to Dubon, the 30th pitch of the game coming for Baz. Fouled off to the right side on that 97-mile-per-hour fastball. 1-2 is the count. I think I need to blow my nose. I will save you guys from that for now. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Baz. Dubon tries to golf it. He barely taps it. Remains 1-2. Where's my tissue? Oh, it's way over there. I don't want to use a paper towel for that. DeCenzo on first with 1 out, 1-2 strikes to Dubon. Here's the toss. Dubon goes straight to short. Another ground out. Is that going to be a double play? Yes, it is. So, Astros determined to just keep grounding out. Nothing doing in this inning. They get a base runner because of an error. We go into the top of the 4th. 1-0 Rays. The Astros still with not a single hit on the board. And I'm going to grab myself some tissue and blow my nose. 1 second, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, guys and gals, I am back in the hot seat. Astros down by 1 here in the top of the 4th. Gusto back up in just a moment to face Chandler Simpson. 0 for 1 today. If we can keep him off the bases, that would be great. Here comes the first pitch. Just a little outside. 88 miles an hour? Was that pitch attempting to go back to the future? 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the next pitch. Just a little high. 93 miles an hour on that fastball. Gusto seems to have slowed down his fastballs a little bit. From 97 and 96 down to 93 and 90, somewhere in there. Next toss is 94 on that inside edge. 2 balls, 1 strike. Have you guys noticed whenever you're watching baseball, they always say inside corner even if it's not on the corner? Or they say outside corner when they mean on the edge? Fouled off for strike 2. It's just a little something that I noticed when I started calling games, because I realized it felt unnatural to me to say on the corner when it was not on the corner. Upper, outer corner, outer, lower corner, etc. Those make sense. I think the reason they say that is because it's kind of a mouthful to say, but it's more accurate. So I've decided to adopt it, even though it isn't so easy. Full count. I think the 5th one of the game, the 5th or 6th full count for Gusto. Outside, ball 4, another walk. The one guy you didn't want on the bases, 2 of the fastest guys in all of MLB. The Rays have the most stolen bases. They have the pair with the most stolen bases. And that's one of them that's on base right now. Simpson on first with no outs. Cameron Meisner comes to the plate. Here comes the pitch. 94, right on that outside edge, strike 1. 0-1. Sergio says, being a Texas-Louisiana transplant, you'll understand this question. How are the mosquitoes in Hiroshima? Can you put a saddle on them? Yes, sir, you're right about that. There's one thing that I don't miss about Louisiana, and that's the freaking mosquitoes. Same in Texas. I will say this, though. The size of the mosquitoes. I think here in Hiroshima, generally, I think it's much easier, so much easier to deal with here. Fouled off by Meisner. Count remains 0-2. 71 pitches now for Gusto. But Sergio, I will say this. It does get a little hot and humid here, but the thing is, it's only really hot and humid for about 2 months. Fouled off. The count remains 0-2. That's one of the things. You hear some foreigners complain, oh my gosh, Japan is so hot. They're always saying, oh, Japan is so hot. That's the thing about social media. If you guys are interested in another country and you go on YouTube and you watch a lot of these YouTubers who are talking about, especially in Japan, YouTubing in Japan is very popular. They just say a bunch of nonsense sometimes. Simpson goes. Does he get it? They say he's safe. Not surprising. Why do I even bother? Unfortunately, that throw was in the dirt, so Simpson happened to get a good pitch. It was close. Wow, that was pretty close. That ball was a breaking ball pitch in the dirt. Not a bad attempt by Yiner. Just didn't get it there in time. Also a good catch by Pena. 1-2 pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, you can see again right there how close that was. Two and 2 is the count with no outs. Simpson on second. Here's a pitch. Simpson going for 3. Yiner gets the throw. It goes out into the left field. He's going to score. Are you kidding me? I don't know why DeCenzo even bothered throwing it into home. 2-0. See, this is why you don't want these guys on base. They just score at will by stealing. They can steal whatever base they want on the Astros. That was ridiculous. 2-0 Rays. Simpson steals second. Steals third. Throw gets by Paredes. The throw wasn't even catchable. So Diaz threw the ball where Paredes was, not where he was going to be. Terrible throw by Diaz. Next pitch is hit way up high. Is it going to be playable? Paredes is over. No, it hits the rafters. They can't play it. Hits the rafters in the stadium, or in the park. 0-1. There's 1 out, by the way, guys. That was a strikeout on the last batter. I was so wrapped up with that steal and the error in the scoring play. 0-1 is the count to Jose Caballero. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss, low in the zone, strike 2. But being from what I was going to say earlier, Sergio, is that living in Louisiana and Texas for so long and getting, I wouldn't say used to, but having to deal with months of heat and humidity and mosquitoes and that miserable, horrible weather, that absolutely miserable climate, I have to say that Japan is no big deal. You just get through July and August and you're good to go. Low check swing, didn't go, ball 2. The count is even. Actually, where I live, it's in East Hiroshima, northern East Hiroshima. And towards the end of August, it gets pretty cool at night. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 88 miles an hour. Strikeout for Gusto, out number 2. Couple of strikeouts this inning for Gusto, and a walk with 2 stolen bases and a wild pitch. Or wild throw, rather, I'm sorry. I will say this, you might find this interesting. Where I live right now, where I'm at right now in the countryside, during the summertime, you don't need AC here. Try doing that in Texas or Louisiana during the summer. Absolutely impossible. I'm not saying it doesn't get hot outside, but the thing is, because of this house and the elevation where I'm at, all you need is a fan at most. Here's the pitch. 88 miles an hour below the zone. The count is 1-1. Sergio says, looks like tonight we're going to have to depend on late game heroics. I sure hope not. I hope they can get some runs in the middle of the game here. Here comes the next pitch. Hit hard to right field, and that's going to be another single, a 2-out single. Oh, he's going to go for 2? No, he'll wheel back to first, so it does stay a single. Cam brings it in pretty quick. Runner on first with 2 outs. Matt Dice. Looks like that's going to be it for Gusto. Espada is calling for a new pitcher. I think Bennett Sousa might be coming in. We'll see. So Gusto can't quite get through 4. Or rather, can't quite get through 5. Or is it 4? Yeah, I can't quite get through 4. All right, we're on break now as they make a pitching change. And let's get back to the live chat and see what's going on here. 28 likes now, by the way, guys. 2 more and I get to 30. Hook me up. I would really like to see that. Casey says a bit outside no matter where it is. Simone says, do you guys think over 7 will hit? So the Astros money line. Oh, you're talking about betting. I don't care. I don't bet. Don't follow betting. Don't care about it. Casey says Astros are not an over 7 team. Don't like that bet. Still more betting language. I don't care. Don't know. Jordan, welcome back. Single or home run, same thing against the Astros. That's scary. Might as well just send them straight to third base. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And that was even a walk. That's what makes it even more ridiculous. You're talking about a guy, Jordan, that guy that they walked, that Gusto walked, he and another Ray together, they are the #1 base stealing combo in MLB. And yet, they walk him anyway. And what does he do? Steals second, steals third, terrible throw by Diaz, jogs home. It reminds me of Base Wars. If you guys remember this old Nintendo baseball game called Base Wars, whenever you hit the ball, you can just run around the bases. They throw the ball to the base, and whenever you arrive there, you fight for the base. You can just beat up the second baseman, go to third, beat up the third baseman, and then go home and score. That's basically what happened just now. It doesn't matter if the ball's there or not. You're gonna score. Bennett Sousa is on the mound for the Astros. First pitch is going to be to Josh Lowe, runner on first base, and Sosa starts off with a courtesy throw to first. Good throw to first. Nice, easy throw to first base. Lowe does have a walk today, and he scored their first run on a sacrifice. High and inside, the first pitch from Sosa. Ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. That one's fouled off, an 86-mile-per-hour slider. 1-1. Fox at Bat says, if you want to improve your SB stats, just play against the Astros. Amen to that. Dang it, darn it, blat. A walk equals a home run. Yeah. Absolutely. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Up and in, 95 miles an hour. Good toss by Sosa. Josh can't get his bat around on that. Josh swung low on that pitch. Sergio says, Gusto had a rough start, but I still feel good about the game. Yeah, I mean, look at the bright side. He only gave up 2 runs. Little tapper at the plate. Foul ball. 4 hits given up by Gusto in 4 innings. Well, you could say 3 2/3. Not quite 4. And he gave up 2 runs. It wasn't terrible. Not good, but not terrible. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off. The main thing that Gusto had problems with was his pitch count. Too many walks, too many pitches. If you take away the walks that Gusto had, this game is 0-0 because both runners scored on walks. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sosa picks up a strikeout on his very first appearance of the game. He gets the Astros out of the inning. No damage. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. The Astros will be back up at the plate in just a moment to begin the evening process. Top of the batting order due up. Basically, the Astros were retired in order 1 through 9 through the first 3 innings. So we are back to the very first batter, Jeremy Pena. Isaac Paredes is on deck, followed by Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve. If I were a woman, I'd say, I want to have Altuve's baby. I want to have some little Altuves running around. Man, but seriously, though, I wish that I had a relative like Altuve, or at least if I had Altuve as a relative, I'd be so happy to have somebody like that in my family. Somebody to really admire and look up to that was part of my family. I could be so proud of, you know. I do believe that we should be able to look at ourselves as our highest inspiration. You know, to be able to be confident in who we are and in our purpose in life and really believe in ourselves. However, when we're not yet at that point, that if we're not living in that state, that emotional state of believing in ourselves and understanding how special and powerful we really are, it's nice to be able to look at somebody like Altuve and be inspired. Just a wonderful guy. Can't say enough about Altuve. Jordan says maybe just throw fast guys underhand golfer balls, so maybe we could get lucky and catch it on the winning track. Or maybe if we do slow pitch softball, Jordan, greater chance of fly balls. Souza being left-handed should put a stop on the Rays stealing second base for 3 innings. I sure hope so. Maybe we can at least stop them from getting on base. The first pitch to Pena is in there for strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Baz back on the mound for the Rays. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, just a little outside. That could have gone either way. Ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the even count pitch. Ripped to left field by Jeremy Pena, all the way out to the wall. It's off the wall, almost a line drive home run. Pena is rushing to second. He slides in there barely with a double. Pena, the Flash, with a hustle. First hit for the Astros this game. Man, he crushed that off the wall, the Crawford box's wall, the scoreboard in left field. Man, what a line drive shot. That was not far away from being a home run. Man, boom, how far? Probably about 4 or 5 feet below the top of the wall. We have ourselves a leadoff double. Heck yes. Isak, the ball, Paredes comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Crush it, man. High. 86 miles an hour. Missing well above the zone. 1-0. All right. Astros finally with a hit. No more no-hitter for Baz. Here comes the next pitch to Paredes. Little low. Could have been called either way. Ball 2. Jordan says, can we score a run from second with no outs? A runner from second. Absolutely we can. We can get a home run. Paredes can even up the game right here. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ooh, right in the bottom there. Strike 1. That was a nice pitch. 84 mile per hour knuckle curve. 2-1. Sergio says Souza is already making it feel like a new ball game. Go Pena. Yeah. Got a strikeout after just one batter faced. Give him some fuel. Paredes takes a little time out. Steps out of the box. The Flash is on second. It wouldn't take much to score him, but Paredes has got power, so let's see what happens. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Outside and low, ball 3. Looks like Baz isn't wanting to throw in the zone to Paredes. Paredes batting .304 for the season with 3 doubles, a couple of homers, and 20 RBIs. 40th pitch of the game coming for Baz. Here's the 3-1. Fouled back, 98 miles an hour in the top of the zone. Full count. Two more likes, guys. If you haven't liked the channel, or rather liked the live stream already, please do so. I just need 2 more to get to 30. Thank you so much. Also, if you haven't subbed to the channel, feel free to do so. If you're an Astros fan or just a baseball fan, both are okay. Here's a pitch. Paredes goes a line drive shot. I thought that was going to make it into left field. A little line drive, but it's caught by the third baseman. He just kind of stuck the bat out there. Didn't get a lot of meat on it. He almost snuck it past, but it just wasn't hit hard enough. It gave the third baseman plenty of time to get over there and get it. 1 out. 1 out. If he had just snuck that one over, that would have easily scored Pena. But that brings up Altuve. Let's see the magic, baby. Here comes the first pitch. High and outside, but it clips the corner, the upper corner, for strike 1. He lined out his last at bat. Let's see what he does here. He goes after that one in the dirt, low and outside. The knuckle curve. Big movement on that pitch. He wasn't thinking about getting that one. Haven't seen a lot of those from Baz. No balls and 2 strikes. Pena on second base with 1 out. Jose Altuve at the plate with an 0-2 count. The pitch from Baz on the way. Foul tipped in the glove. And that's going to be a strikeout. 99 miles an hour. Altuve goes down, unfortunately, on 3 pitches. Ah, man, I don't even want to show that replay. Barely caught by the catcher. Two away. Pena's still on second, but that brings up the Batman Caratini. We have 2 outs. Rally time. Caratini fouls it off. 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Up in the zone. "32 people watching. Please like the live stream. I need 2 more to get to 30. Just 2 more, guys. Hook me up." Here's the 0-1 pitch to Caratini. Ooh. Could have gone either way. Top of the zone, 93 miles an hour. Called a strike. 0-2. Caratini calls a little timeout. Baz steps off the mound. Pena on second, waiting to score. Help him out, Victor Caratini. Here's the pitch. Pena steals third. He's in there. How do you like that? Pena getting a little action. He's like, hey, I can steal too. Ball 1 to Caratini. He was easily able to get in there. Man, he got a great jump. Doesn't take much now to score him. Just a little tapper right over into the outfield. Come on, Mr. Batman. We don't need a big hit, just the right hit. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Caratini. He hits on out to left field, but just foul. Man, that would have been an opposite field RBI for sure. The count remains 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pena on third. Caratini trying to muscle in a run here. Here comes the pitch. Little check swing on the 99-mile-per-hour high fastball. 2-2. Good restraint by Caratini there. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Good. Full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Batman at the plate facing Shane Baz, who is now at 50 pitches for the game. Bottom of the 4th. Astros about to get a run on the board. Here comes the pitch. Right in there, strike 3. Got him looking. All of that. What a great at bat for Caratini to just stand there and take strike 3. Pena steals third base after a rocket double off the wall, leadoff double, and he is stranded. Finally, we get a great hit, a stolen base. We come up empty. Nothing doing for the Astros in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th. 2-0 Rays at Daikin Park. The anemia for the Astros bats today continues. We've only had 2 base runners so far. One, DeCenzo reached on an error, but he was quickly eliminated with a double play. Pena had a crushing line drive shot off the wall in left field and had to hustle to get to second for that double. Then stole third base, but the Astros were not able to move him around. His following teammates, Paredes, Altuve, and Caratini, let him down. It's one of those games. Top of the 5th, 1 hit for the Stros. We are right in the middle of this game. As you can see on the screen, commercial break in progress. I like that it says commercial break in progress instead of giving me crappy commercials. I prefer that, actually. I can't stand hearing all these loud, annoying commercials. Oh yeah, Father's Day is coming up really soon. It'd be nice to get a call from my daughter, but she's never called me on Father's Day. Never, not once. First pitch here from Sousa is a strike. He's facing Brandon Lau. Here comes the next toss. Woo! Right in the bottom of the zone, swinging a foul tip miss, caught by Caratini. I'm sorry, Diaz. He's behind the plate. 0-2. Fromber coming up in the next game they're talking about right now, facing Pepio. I hope you guys are liking. I would like to hear what you think about my thumbnails. I'm having fun making them, though. Anime style, Street Fighter style, and now One Piece style for the Pirates. Strike 3, 88 miles an hour. The bottom fell out of that. Low went after it, or Lau rather. Couldn't get the bat on it. Whiff. Nice toss. Taking one more look at that. Nice. Since the Astros are playing the Pirates later, I decided to theme that after One Piece. Next batter is Yandy Diaz. He fouls it off. The slider just getting by him. 4 straight strikes now for Sousa in this inning. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next toss to Yandy. He hits that one out into left field, left center. That might be all the way to the wall. It is. It's off the base of the wall. Myers grabs it. That'll be a double, stand-up double for Yandy. Runner on second. That was not a bad pitch, but that was not too much movement on that slider, but it did drop and go down. Yandy just plays it off the wall in center field. There was no chance for them to get that. Easy stand-up double. 1 out, runner on second here in the top of the 5th. That brings up Jonathan Aranda. Woo, did that hit him? Wild pitch. Okay, runner goes to third. They don't even need to steal anymore. The Rays don't need to steal. Wild pitch. Why not just throw a wild pitch? Let them stroll over to third. Runner on third with 1 out. Yandy goes to third on a wild pitch. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Aranda. Top of the zone, strike 1, 85 miles an hour on that slider. Count is even, 1-1. Prayers for Christian Walker, says Sergio. We need your golden glove and your bat quickly. Well, they say he's all right. He's available for the game, actually. Tapped foul down the first baseline, strike 2. It's 1-2 on Aranda. Earlier, they showed him, Sergio, they showed Walker sitting in the dugout, and they said he is available to come in this game if they need him. But they're letting him rest. So, according to them, he's okay. Here's the next pitch. Hit high to left field and out of play. Count remains 1-2. 25 people watching. Did I get to 30 likes yet? Not yet. Still at just 28. Need 2 more to get to 30. The way things were moving earlier, I thought, hey, I might have a chance to get to 40 likes this stream. But we're going to need to pick it up just a little bit in order to make that happen. Ground ball up the middle. He comes home. The throw is on time, and Diaz is out. Yandy Diaz is thrown out at home by Mauricio Dubon. Mauricio Dubon. Good job there. As I start clicking the wrong things on my screen. The grounder straight to Dubon at second. He goes straight home. Yandy tries to score. But good throw and good tag there. So we have out number 2, runner on first. The first pitch to Junior Caminero is fouled off. Strike 1. Good defensive play by the Astros. Typically, that's how the Astros play defense. Pretty well. Typically. Not including the performance of the stolen bases today. Here's the next pitch. Little check swing high. Ball 1. 1-1. Sergio says, I enjoy the use of animals. I love your format with the Astros orange and blue. Thanks, I appreciate that. Another wild pitch in the dirt. Runner goes to second. Astros just giving the Rays bases today. Stolen bases, wild pitches, wild throws. Man, what in the world is the deal? 2 balls and 1 strike. That's funny. One of the Astros commentators, they said it's like Oprah Winfrey's out here handing out 90 feet bases. You get a base. You get a base. Everyone gets a base. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that pitch right in the zone. 20 pitches now for Sousa. Caminero with the 2-2 count and 2 outs, runner on second. Lots of 2s. Ground ball to third. It's going to be through. They might score a run. They sent him around. The throw is all the way into the plate. Okay, I'm not really sure exactly what the deal was there. He scores. And there was a hesitation on Yainer to go to second. I guess Dubon wasn't covering. He pumped and then waited and then finally threw the ball. But it was too late, so the runner gets to second. The hitter gets to second. I don't know why DeCenzo went home. He was clearly going to be safe. And then a double pump for Diaz before he threw to second. By the time Dubon got there, it was too late. So we have runner on second with 2 outs. 3-0 Rays. This one's going into left field and playable by DeCenzo. Well, DeCenzo makes the right call there. Oh, goodness gracious. Sousa gives up 1 run. 3-0. The Rays over the Astros. Commercial break in progress. Goodness gracious me. Bottom of the 5th coming up in just a moment. The Astros with just 1 hit on the board. Baz will be back up in just a moment. 51 pitches for him today. Jordan says, how's it even possible not to score from second with no outs, but they can score on a walk? Yeah, Jordan, it's literally like the Astros commentators said a few moments ago. They said it's like Oprah Winfrey is at the game handing out 90 feet to the Rays. You know, you get a base and you get a base. Everybody gets a base. I mean, they're getting bases on bad decisions on where to throw the ball. They're getting bases by getting stolen bases. They're getting bases by passed balls. They're getting bases by wild throws. It's like, seriously? And they're getting on base and scoring from walks. So if you took away the walks that Gusto gave out earlier, then they would only have 1 run on the board right now. Just 1. It's crazy. Sergio says, sorry, Brandon, autocorrect changed my words from anime. Oh, anime to animals. I didn't catch that. Oh, I got you. The use of anime. Yeah. I figured that since I'm in Japan, it kind of makes sense. But instead of just doing straight up anime, I decided to do anime inspired stuff. Like, right, for example, that right now these games with Tampa Bay are Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter series inspired. So you notice all the pictures resemble Street Fighter characters. And then the next series with the Pirates, they're all going to be One Piece references, because One Piece is a pirate-based anime. Now, if you guys don't watch it or whatever, that's fine. Actually, I don't watch One Piece. I don't know much about it. But I'm aware that it's about pirates. So it's easy for me to get the anime caricatures made of the pitchers. First pitch to Myers is in there for strike one. Here comes the next toss. Just outside for ball one on that 98-mile-per-hour pitch. Myers grounded out his last at bat. One and one to Mr. Baseball. Hit hard to left. It's going to bounce. Cabanero makes the throw over to first base. Off the hop. One away. Not hit quite as hard as it could have been. Off the end of the bat, not the fat part. They retire Myers, and that brings up Yainer Diaz. Astros looking a little lethargic today. Diaz hits that first one really hard out to center field all the way to the wall. It might be gone. Yeah, no. Is it gone? Yes, it is. I thought it bounced off the wall for a second there, but it did. It just bounced off the wall outside the wall. Yainer Diaz with the home run. The Astros are on the board. All right. 1-3. The Astros finally with a run on the board. Yainer Diaz to straightaway center field, the very first pitch. 430 feet, guys. Holy cow. Yainer Diaz with a blast. 3-1, and now Cam Smith comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. 98. That was a little up out of the zone, but the umpire called it strike. Wow. What a hit by Yainer Diaz. Too bad nobody was on base. Here's the next pitch. Low and outside. 1-1 to Cam. 2 98-mile-per-hour fastballs back to back. I think I want to heat myself up a fresh cup of coffee. A fresh cup of coffee. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside. 86 miles an hour on that knuckle curve. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1. Here comes the toss to Cam. Crank it up. 86. Knuckle curve right in the middle of the plate, taken for strike 2. I have no idea what I'm witnessing right now with that. 2-2 pitch, grounded foul by Cam. Count remains even at 2-2. Let's take another look at that blast by Yainer Diaz. A slider in the top of the zone. Look at that. Crushed to straightaway. You see where it bounced off the wall up there. From that angle, you can tell why I thought maybe it bounced off the wall, but the center fielder was looking up, so it was obviously a home run. 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Hey, look at that. Cam Smith goes into left field. He's going to run for 2. He's booking it. Is he going to get in there? Yes, he is. The transfer doesn't get there in time. He can't make the play. Cam Smith with a double. It didn't make it to the wall, but it didn't matter. Cam Smith with the speed. Cam cranks it up. Astros trying to remind the Rays that we have a little bit of speed too. A little bit of excitement there, a little bit of energy. Love it. 1 out with a runner on second. The tying run comes to the plate. Zach DeCenzo, who's got himself some monster blasts recently. All right, let's do it. I've got fresh coffee brewing. The Astros have some fresh runs brewing. This is the inning. Now's the time. Cam Smith on second base. DeCenzo at the plate facing Baz. First pitch to DeCenzo. On the way. 99, swing and a miss, right in the middle of the zone. Baz doesn't waste any time at all, going straight at DeCenzo. Diaz says, or Sergio says, go Diaz. That makes up for that horrible pickoff throw to third base. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Fouls it off. 99 again. So DeCenzo misses the first one. Fouls off the second one. Does that mean he's going to crush the third one? We'll see. It's not quite a new ball game yet. We're still down by 2 runs, but we're getting there. Go Cammy. We're going to be shouting his name for several years. How awesome would that be? Crank it up, Cam. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Oh, that's on the outside edge. Strike 2. That was an 0-2. I'm sorry, not 1-2. So DeCenzo strikes out on 3 straight pitches. Swing and a miss, swing and a foul, and then takes a strike. So he takes the strikes in 3 different ways. Complete miss, foul ball, looking. Strike, 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 you're out of there. Out number 2. That brings up Mauricio Dubon. Come on, Doobie. Here's the pitch. He hits that one up the middle. That's going to score him. Easily, Cam Smith will come home. Dubon gets the job done with a single up the middle. Heck yes. 3-2. Astros are now down by 1. They have drawn within 1 run. Courtesy of Doobie. Once again, the 9th hole hitter getting it done. The Astros, one of the best teams right now, if not the best in the MLB, with their 9th hole hitter production. Yeah, there was absolutely no way they were going to be able to throw Smith out at home. He came in standing up. 3-2. Dubon is coming out of the game. They have a pinch runner coming in from Mauricio Dubon. The Rays had a little chat on the mound with Baz. Now they break it up. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. Pena rocketed a double off the scoreboard his last at bat. Second best hit of the game so far. 2 outs, runner on first. Here comes the pitch. 99, foul tip into the glove of Dice. Strike 1. Here's the next pitch. Little high and inside. Woo! He called that a strike. Could have gone either way, but, you know, it was in there. 0-2. Come on, Pena. You can do it again, man. Let's take the lead right here. Take the lead. Take it away from Baz. Take away this W. Timeout called by Pena. The flash at the plate. No, Dubon is back on first. I guess because of the timeout that the Rays took, he was just over at the dugout chatting with the coach. It looks like Okert is warming up in the bullpen for the Stros. high and outside on that knuckle curve. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Pena. I haven't got to 30 likes yet, still at 28. 2 more likes on the live feed if you guys don't mind. Hook me up. If you have not liked the live stream, please do so. Thank you in advance. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to the flash. No. The umpire says, "Hey, Baz, I see you. That's a timer violation, buddy." Ball 2. Pitch clock violation. You are in violation. I love how the umpire does the exaggerated point and big. Look at this. He's like, no. Time. He starts tapping his watch. That's funny. Here's the pitch. Pena to the right side. It's going to be a hit. Should move him over to third. Dubon booking it around. Runners on the corners. Yeah, they throw it over to third for some crazy reason, but there's no reason at all to throw it over there. Dubon easily gets to third. Runners on the corners. The pain continues for Baz. Nice opposite field hit right through that big old gap over there between first and second. The Flash with his second hit of the game. He has a double and a single now. Maybe Pena's going to go for the cycle. All right, Isaac Paredes. He socked the ball with runners on the corners. Comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. Way outside. 98 miles an hour, ball 1. Suddenly Baz up to his 70th pitch with this next one. Oh, that is his 70th pitch, or that was rather. Here comes the 71st. 1-0. In the dirt. Woo. 2 balls and no strikes. They mentioned earlier that Baz hasn't thrown a single wild pitch the whole year, but he has thrown 2 in the dirt that Theis has had to just completely stop and scoop up. That was one of them. 2 balls and no strikes to Paredes. Big hit coming up. Here's the pitch. He takes that one inside. Strike 1, 97 miles an hour. Just up and in. Good pitch. My hot water is ready. I can make myself a fresh, tasty cup of coffee. But not until this pitch. Not until this at-bat is done. Here it comes. Way outside, ball 3. 3-1 to Paredes. The 98 mile per hour fastball missing way outside. Sergio says Jeremy Altuve Jr. is due for a homer. Altuve Jr. Yeah, the only difference is that Pena is about 5 feet taller than Altuve. 3-1 pitch to Paredes on the way. That's hit hard. Man, that was crushed. Woo! But foul. Paredes completely crushed that one. That one went into the upper deck in the left field. Wow. Full count, guys, with 2 outs, runners on the corners. He socked the ball. Paredes at the plate. Here's the pitch. He hits it into left field. Is it going to get down? No, it's caught. The center fielder catches it in left center field, almost down. Wow, Paredes so close, but Yiner starts off the scoring with the solo home run. The Astros tack on 1 more run after that, and we are down by just 1, or rather, let's look at it from a more positive angle. We draw within 1 run, 3-2, and Paredes almost, if he had gotten that ball into the gap, that potentially could have scored 2 runs. Potentially. At least 1 would have scored easily. But as it stands, We go into the top of the 6th. The Astros 2, the Rays 3. Woof. What an inning. Could have been so much bigger. But still. 30 likes on the channel. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. We got to 30 likes. And we did it in how many innings? We did it in 5 innings. 30 likes in 5 innings. So in the first inning, I got over 10 likes. By the end of the second inning, I was over 20 likes. And then by the end of the 5th, I was over 30 likes. We still have 4 full innings of baseball ahead of us. The big question is, what will happen with the viewers on the live stream? And will I get to 40 likes on this live stream? We might, with the game being so close like this, as it gets towards the end. Just might. But right now, the most important thing is for me to make that fresh cup of coffee before this game gets started. Steven Okert, Fried Okert, is going to be on the mound for the Astros. He'll be facing Cameron Meisner as the first batter of the inning for the Rays. The first one to be the victim, to play the victim. Fried Okert. First pitch almost on the way before I can even finish getting my coffee ready. All right, here we go. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice. I was barely able to get that preview up in time. I think Okert is moving pretty quickly. Here comes the second pitch. 0-1. Swing and miss again. Identical pitch, identical result. No balls, 2 strikes to Cameron Meisner. He takes a little timeout, and he looks a little disappointed with himself right now. I'm glad he took the timeout, though. I needed an extra couple of moments to pour my coffee. Fried Okert, where is your avatar? I've got your avatar here somewhere. Here's the pitch. Low and outside for ball 1, 1-2. Where is your avatar, Mr. Okert? Oh, I don't have an anime avatar for Fried Okert. I'm going to have to get one. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss on the outside edge. Strike 3. Heck yes. Okert gets the strikeout for the first batter of the 6th. 1 away. All right. So let's get Okert's. Let's get Okert's image, and I'll get to the AI and create a nice get myself a nice anime image for him. All right, well, while I'm trying to get Okert's image, we get another out. Very first pitch, out number 2. Looks like a ground ball to Dubon. Dubon puts him away. 2 up and 2 down for Okert. Matt Thaiss comes to the plate. Who's up now? Yep, Thaiss. 4-seam fastball, swing and a miss. Man, I'm just trying to get Okert's picture on the screen, but I can't get it on there fast enough. This game is moving so quick. Brian King is now up in the dugout. Why do I keep saying that? He's in the bullpen for the Astros. 0-1 is the count to Matt Thaiss. 2 outs, nobody on. 7th pitch of the inning for Okert on the way. Little high, check swing, ball 1. 1-1 is the count. All right. That pitch is in there for strike 2. Here comes the next pitch. High, ball 2. 2-2. All right, guys. Next pitch is in there for strike 3. Before I can even get Okert's image created and on the screen, he's already struck out the side. Well, a strikeout, a ground out, a strikeout. 3 up and 3 down for Fried Okert. Can I have seconds, mama? That was really good. When I was a kid, I didn't really care much for fried okra. But as an adult, I like it and I really appreciate it. Okay, now I've got the AI creating another thumbnail for Stephen Okert in the same style as the one for Bennett Sosa, which you see on the screen right now. It should be ready in just a few moments, and as soon as it is, I'll update it. I really should just go through the Astros lineup and go ahead and create all these one day when I have a moment. I wish I had a really awesome animated system that would update who's at bat and the base runners and all of those things, because right now I'm having to use a separate scoreboard that's okay, but I have to do a lot of clicking, guys, and when a lot of stuff is happening in the game, I have to do 2 things at once. One is I have to let you know what's happening because I'm doing the live play-by-play. This is different than a commentary channel. For those of you who've never done a live play-by-play before, it's much more difficult than just doing live commentary. If I'm sitting here watching the Astros game and just commenting on it, it's much more relaxed. I'm not showing highlights or anything. And I don't have to tell you everything that happens. I'm just commenting on the results of the game. But to do live play-by-play means that whoever's listening needs to be able to understand what's happening in the game. All the details that can possibly be revealed need to be given. For example, right now, Jose Altuve is at the plate. He's the first batter for the Astros here in the bottom of the 6th. Baz still on the mound for the Rays. He is at 75 pitches. Altuve knocks his cleats off several times, steps into the box. Shortly, we will have the first pitch to Altuve. Is this going to be an ambush? Here's a pitch. No, high pitch. Baz doesn't allow the ambush by just throwing it way out of the zone. 1-0 to Altuve. A line out and a strikeout for Altuve today, but the second hardest hit of the game so far has been his line out. He crushed it. A little outside. Good take by Altuve. 2-0. I like it when Altuve is ahead in the count. You know it's got to make those pitchers sweat. They're like, crap, I have to kind of throw it around the zone. Here's the next pitch. That's a little in there. Top of the zone. 97 just barely clips it. Actually, if you look at it on the strike zone graphic they had on the screen, it looked more like a ball. Here comes the next pitch. Hit hard by Altuve all the way out to the Crawford boxes. It's gone. It's off the wall above the Crawford boxes. Altuve continues his freaking damage. Jose Altuve ties up this game with a solo leadoff home run here in the bottom of the 6th. That's the man right there. That's my guy. Jose Altuve. 3-3 Astros with the 2-0. I told you, the pitchers don't really like pitching to him when he gets ahead in the count especially, but just in general. But, man, when he gets ahead in the count, you got to be careful with what you throw, and that's why. Caratini, the Batman, is at the plate, takes that one outside for ball 1. A pop out and a strikeout for Caratini so far today. Jose. Here's the next pitch. Hey, that's ripped right down the line, almost through, but good catch by the first baseman. That was a hard hit ball by Caratini. Man, look at that. 97-mile-per-hour fastball, a few inches above the zone, and Altuve just punishes it out off the Lexus sign. Just like Lexus, high-class stuff. Altuve pointing out to the bullpen. Don't get to see that too often, but that's great. Next pitch is out of the zone to Jake Myers. A little high. Ball one. One away with 1 ball, no strikes to Mr. Jake Myers. Now we have ourselves a new ball game. 3-3. High and inside. Almost clipped him. Ball 2. Hokert comes over, gives him a little love. These commentators are hilarious to listen to. They're like, the love is going back and forth between the bullpen and Altuve right now. He said, now Altuve... No, I'm sorry. He said, now the bullpen knows that Altuve loves them. How would they not know that? 2 balls and 1 strike to Myers. Here comes the pitch. Up the middle, but it's going to be playable by the shortstop. Fires to first. Gets Myers by a couple of steps. 2 away. Well, the good thing is that right now, as it stands, there won't be any loss for Gusto. No decision. Diaz is at the plate. He had a monster shot earlier. He goes up the middle and got himself another hit. A single. Very first pitch. Goes right after it. 2-out single. Looks like the manager is going to make a change. That's going to be it for Baz after 85 pitches. 5.2 innings. He doesn't manage to quite get through 6. Doesn't have a bad game. This inning has been a little challenging for him, but the last inning was what really got him. The Astros getting 2. And then that home run by Altuve is kind of the icing on the cake. The single from Diaz just made the pull happen a little sooner than later. Diaz on first and crank it up Cam. Cam has a really nice double already this game. Expecting a good result from this at bat. Let's see if Cram Smith. Cram it into the outfield. Cram it into the stands. Let's see if Crank It Up Cam can give us a nice big hit and take this lead. The Astros now with 7 hits suddenly. We went several innings with nothing, and then now we have 7 hits. 1 more than the Rays. Jordan says we should be winning 4-1. Yeah, it's not a big hitting game, but yeah, we should be. We have 2 solo home runs. 2 of our 3 runs are just solo shots. Altuve went Napoleonic on that ball. Yeah, he did. Right off the Lexus sign. High quality, luxury hit. Charles says, great to see you sending the game. Awesome, good job. Thank you, Charles. I'm doing my best for you guys. It's a little challenging to be calling the game and doing all this clicking while balancing my coffee skills at the same time. Once I get this house straightened up a little bit more, I plan to go back to using my camera so you guys can see me. I want to share my environment with you guys. I want you to see my house here. It looks like Edwin Uceta is on the mound. I'm pretty sure that I have his picture. And I do. It's a strange picture. Cam Smith at the plate. First pitch on the way. That's a strike, a little low, but in there. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next toss. Fouled off. 94, just above the zone. 0-2 is the count. Edwin Uceda. I need to change the name on the screen. 0-2 pitch on the way to Cam. Crank it up, man. In the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good take there. 2 outs. Astros have 1 run on Jose Altuve's awesome home run off the Lexus scoreboard above the Crawford boxes. Here comes the next pitch. Hey, base hit for Cam again, right to left center field. Diaz is booking it around to third. He's going to get in there. Runners at the corners. Heck yes. The inning's not over yet. Cam Smith does it again. Going down and getting that pitch. Putting it right into the gap, and Yiner was off to the races. Just enough time for Yiner to get in there, standing up. All right. Zach DeCinzo, big, strong guy at the plate right now. A mound visit. All of the infield comes in, and the pitching coach is out to have a little chit-chat. They're letting them know that it is hopeless. It is now hopeless. That's what they're telling them. Okert has been downloaded. I'll have him up on the screen whenever he comes up. Let's see, how tall is... Wow, he's 193. 193 centimeters tall. He's 6'5". He's a big guy. Lots of power. Here's the first pitch. 90 miles an hour in the low part of the zone. Swing and a miss, strike 1. One swing from DeCinzo here could give the Astros a very comfortable lead, and he's got the power to do it. When he hits them out of the park, that's what they were saying the other day. When he hits the ball out of the park, it's not barely. But on the inside, they say he did not go. 1 ball, 1 strike. That almost hit him, actually. Kind of a defensive swing there. Jordan says, I don't know how you do it. I like trying to multitask, but I always be getting copyright strikes. I got to clip them out sometimes, but I do my best to keep them short. I just need to find a more efficient way of doing it, I think. Cam Smith is stealing second. Dice tries to throw the ball, but it comes out of his glove. So Cam Smith gets to second, no problem. Astros with runners on second and third now, both in scoring position. You can see where the ball comes out of Theis's glove here. He might not have even been trying to throw it. It doesn't matter. Both runners in scoring position. 1-2 is the count to DeCinzo. DeCinzo calls a timeout. It's not going to take much from DeCinzo, but he still has a lot of power. The left fielder is playing him really deep, almost on the warning track. They obviously know what he's capable of. Here comes the pitch. Ah, come on. Are you kidding me, Zach? He takes the pitch right in there. A fastball right in there. But thank goodness Altuve comes in and gets that solo home run to tie up the game. Sharing a little love in the dugout with Stephen Fried Okert. Man, if not for Altuve, we would have a very disappointing inning, we'd still be down 3-2. You know, there's one thing I just can't stand. I mean, if DeCenzo had swung at that ball and missed it, I can't be upset with that. But when you have a pitch that's anywhere near the strike zone, much less directly in the strike zone, and you just let it go and you strike out, I mean, the game is tied. You've got 2 runners on. You have to swing the freaking bat. Why was he not thinking swing? Why would you be thinking walk with 2 outs and 2 runners on? Why would you be thinking take the pitch? Why would that even be in your mind? I just don't understand. Help me, someone, please, to understand that. So disappointing. Okay, boom. I've got Okert's picture. Okert's anime inspired image is now on the screen. How about that? Do you like it? Stephen Okert's anime picture. It's pretty nice, I think. I like it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Oh well, I'll calm down and enjoy my coffee and get all up off of Zach DeCenzo's back. It was disappointing, though. Absolutely. Keyword here was, now let's move on. The Astros have created a new game thanks to my man, Jose Altuve. But my favorite reliever is in the game now, Brian King. That first pitch, high and inside, bounces off of Yiner's glove. Next pitch from King. I've got a really nice thumbnail for King. A really nice image. Next pitch is fouled off for strike 1, 1-1. How do you like my Brian King? It's a special one. Magnum PI, Brian King, Magnum PI avatar. I love it. Here's the 1-1 pitch from King. Right on the inside edge. Good pitch. Strike 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Josh Lowe at the plate. Here comes the next pitch. Wide and in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sergio says nobody changes the momentum of a game like Altuve. Yeah, he has the power to do so many things. Here's the next pitch. Ground ball to Pena. It's going to get through. Pena wasn't over there. Paredes tried to get to it. Just right through the gap. Too much of a space between Pena and Paredes. Leadoff runner. 2 ball, 2 out. I'm sorry, 2 ball, 2 strike. Opposite field single off of King. No big deal. It just means we got a double play ball coming up. Brandon Lau comes to the plate. Here comes the first pitch from King. Oh, did he hit him? Yeah, hit him right off the bat. Ow, right on the hand. Lau is down on his knee there. He's still moving around, getting his... Oh, yeah, that's off his forearm. Yeah, it looks like Lau was coming around. He was going to swing at that. And then the ball hit him on the forearm. Looked like maybe a defensive swing, but now he's running down to first base. He's going to be all right. Little bit of a meeting on the mound between the umpire and the pitcher. What's going on there? Diaz, King, and Caratini having a little discussion. Not sure what that was about. Yandy Diaz comes to the plate. No outs. Runners on first and second. uncharacteristically for King with the hit batter. 7 hits for the Rays, 8 hits for the Astros. This game is tied right now. Yandy at the plate, facing the King. Here comes the first pitch. Right in there, strike one, a 92-mile-per-hour fastball in the bottom lower part of the zone. Jordan says, I like DeCenzo, but he was walking off before the ump even called strike. That's bad at bat. Yeah, absolutely it was. He was just standing there. Opposite field hit and gets through. And they're going to call him home. Here's a throw. He's in there. They call him safe. That was close. Low scores taking the lead. Did I reset the score by accident? Yeah, I accidentally reset the score. I'm going to take a look at the... Yeah, he's in there. He made it. Opposite field hit by Diaz. Scores low. It was not a bad throw by Cam Smith, but it wasn't there in time. 4-3, the Rays retake the lead. Aranda is at the plate. First pitch is a swing and a miss, 79-mile-per-hour pitch. Runners on the corners now for the Rays with no outs. 0-1 is the count. Next pitch to Aranda is on the way. That's another one through. Man, King has given up the hits. That's another run scored. Aranda goes to second. Runner to third. No outs. 5-3 Rays. Wow, I am shocked at this result. Brian King has given up 2 runs and not a single out right now. But look at that. That ball was right at Caratini. You have to think that Christian Walker would have made that play. Pitching coach is going to come out, Josh Miller, and have a little chat with King in the infield. Are they going to give the Astros an error there? Yes, they do. They give Caratini an error, as they should. That one was not on King. That should have been caught. Man, no outs, runners on second and third. Astros had this game tied. And now down by 2 again, 5-3. Man. The Rays taking the gas out of the Astros. Jordan says hopefully the Mariners lose. I hope the Mariners always lose. Can't stand the Mariners. Strike. Junior Caminero at the plate, up and in on that fastball. 0-1 is the count. Runners on second, third. King looking for his first out. Too far inside on that pitch. 1-1. Twelve pitches now for Brian King. Come on, show the Magnum PI here. Shut it down. A little low and inside, ball 2. Combination of misplaced pitches and a little bit of unlucky spots for King. This one's hit up the middle, deep, all the way out to the wall, and out of here. That's gone. Are you kidding me? It just kept going. Right center field, guys. 3-run homer by Caminero. King gives up 5 runs this inning. 8-3, just like that. This game is over. The crowd is booing. I feel really bad because King is a guy I really, really like. That ball was just floated. Just hit well and floated and floated and floated and floated. 92 fastball right in the middle of the zone. Right center field, about 5 feet over the wall. 8-3. 9 hits now for the Rays. That's a deflating if turn of events. 1-0 is the count. High and inside, ball 2. Fastball missing. Well, yeah, this game is really going to set King back quite a bit, I think. That one's in there. 78-mile-per-hour Swiffer. 2 balls and 1 strike to Chandler Simpson. Astros had the comeback going on, and King gives up 5 just this inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes on that pitch. Still no outs. First 5 batters all scoring. This one's up the middle, another hit. Single. 6 straight base runners for the Rays. Not a single out. I think you got to think about pulling King out right now. He's just giving up hits like crazy. Caleb Ort is warming up in the bullpen. I'm still not quite sure why they didn't leave Okert in the game. I thought they were going to leave Okert in the game. It would have been nice to let King relax for another inning at least. Maybe things would have turned out differently. Here's the first pitch to Cameron Meisner. That's out of the zone for ball 1. Like I said, we need Walker at first. That's true. That's true. Here's the next pitch right in there. 91 miles an hour strike. Count is even 1-1. I mean, I wouldn't say that Caratini's a bad first baseman. But compared to Walker's glove, there's no comparison. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Foul tip, strike 2. 1-2. King 1 strike away from recording his first out of the inning. 23rd pitch. Coming up in just a moment. Here's the toss. Nope, he goes over to first. Runner is back. Eight to 3, guys. The gas is gone out of me, just like the Astros. Yeah, and the viewers have gone down significantly. This is hit out to left field high in the air. DeCinzo's underneath it, and that's out number 1. He brings it in. Runner goes back to first. First out. And Joe Espada is coming out to grab King. That's going to be it for him. This year, King has been just stellar, absolutely stellar. Like I said before, he's been my favorite reliever. I feel really, really bad for him. I've never seen him pitch like that. Never seen him pitch like that. 1 out in the top of the 6th. 5 runs given up. 5 runs. 0.1 innings pitched for Brian King, and they pull him out. Oh my goodness! I couldn't be more sad. Couldn't be sadder. But we're going to have another pitcher come in just a moment. It looks like it's going to be Caleb Ort. And I don't have Ort's picture in anime form, so I need to get that. Where's it at? Let me go ahead and try to make that now. Okay. AI is currently making me an anime-style thumbnail for Caleb Ort. Oh, man. If you feel like I do, I am so sorry. I feel so sorry, but I'm just the messenger. When the Astros don't do too well, my channel doesn't do as well. When the Astros are doing nicer, exciting things are happening, my channel takes off. It's like the stock market. My channel success is kind of like the stock market in a way. First pitch from Ward is low for ball 1, 95 miles an hour. Jose Caballero at the plate. Runner on first with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Simpson is stealing second. Is he going to get there? Easily. The ball bounces out into second and past second base out into center field, but Dubon is out there to grab it. Simpson stays at second, but, you know, of course he steals. Of course. Simpson steals at will against the Astros. It's not even a good throw by Diaz. Pena could barely get to it. Bounced away from him. Come on, Diaz. You're going to have to put your throws on target, bro. He's been making such terrible throws today. What is the deal? Practice that a little more. 2 balls, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Hit high in the air. This might be out number 2. Should be. Pena's underneath it. He takes it. Dubon had it, but he backs off and lets Pena take it. Pena said, I'll get it, I'll get it, I'll get it, and Dubon just took off out of the way. 2 outs. It's funny because it was right to Dubon, but Pena pushed him out of the way. He said, I want it. He took it. Dice is at the plate with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. High and outside, ball 1. I think I should have my new anime picture for Ort. Yes, I do. I can update that in just a moment on the screen. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. 1-1 is the count to Matt Dice. There we go. Got Ort on the screen now. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back. 1 ball. 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner on second. Simpson on second. Is he going to try to steal third? I wonder. Astros only down by 5. This game's still within easy reach. Just a couple of hits and they'll be back in it, right? Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Ort. Just a little too far outside. Evens the count 2-2. If you guys are still listening and following along, then you are diehard fans. You are the best. So I will do my best for you. Even though I feel deflated right now, you're still here, so I will do my best. Here comes the 2-2 from Ort. In the dirt, got him swinging, strike 3. Ort feels the power coming from fans like you and like me, and he gets that strikeout. 34 likes on the live stream nonetheless. Thank you guys so much. 6 away from 40. Man, if I get to 40 likes on this game, I'll be so shocked. 40 likes on a game like this. I'll tell you this, though. The Astros start coming back. I can easily get to 40 likes. People will start pouring in to check out the results, to see how this game is going to end. This could be a nail-biter. I feel like this could be one of those games. You know, it's the bottom of the 7th right now. The Astros are going to be up in just a moment. I had the wrong inning on the screen. That was the top of the 7th, not the top of the 6th. What am I doing? What am I doing? 3-8, the Astros. Just 5 runs to go. That's all to tie it up, and then a little extra, a little lanyap, if you will, to take the lead. They can do it, right? It's no big deal. No big deal. Sergio says, I hope that King bounces back if we lose today's game with a vengeance. And I'm sure he will. It's very, very uncharacteristic. His control just wasn't there today. Hitting batters, giving up hits, definitely not like King normally. Sergio says, sorry to say, but this one is on the coach. He pulled Souza out 1 inning too soon. Point number 1, Sergio, agreed. Ogert should have pitched the 6th. Point number 2, Sergio, agreed. King owns the 7th and 8th innings, but we can count on our closer. Yeah, that's the thing, Sergio. Typically, King pitches like either the 7th or just 1 or 2 batters in the 7th. But they didn't need him to come in. Ogert was really doing well, and he didn't have a long 6th. He could have stayed in, and I was expecting him to stay in. Even Sousa could have stayed in. So I agree with you 100%. We're on the same wavelength here. We've come back from bigger deficits. That's true. Let's make it a ball game, brothers. I agree. I want to see this get down to the wire. Even if the Astros can't pull it out, I want to see a close ending. Eric Orrs is in the game now for the Rays. Mauricio Dubon is at the plate. Dubon came through earlier with an RBI. He had a single, a timely single. 0-1 is the count to Dubon. Here comes the next pitch from Orrs. In the dirt, ball 1. 1-1. Let's see if I've got Orrs in my folder. And I do. Boom. Here's the next pitch from Orrs. 1-1. Barely on that outside edge. Strike 1. He paints the corner there, as they say. As the kids like to say. He finger paints the corner. Next pitch is hit high in the air. Should be playable. Left center field, and it is. He makes the catch for out number 1. Dubon goes down with the flyout, out number 1. I've got so much to do here at the house. I'm just trying to get my water going right now so I can take a freaking shower. Everything keeps going wrong with it. First pitch to Pena is a swing and a miss on the sinker, 95 mile per hour pitch. Not a bad looking pitch. Pena couldn't get the bat on it. Here comes the next toss. Pena hits that one high to center field, but that's going to be playable. I don't know why the crowd was getting so excited. Just a high fly ball. Out number 2. 6 pitches now for Orrs. 2 fly balls. 2 outs. Bredis is 0 for 3 tonight. He is yet to get a big hit. Or any hit. But a big hit here now would be nice. Here comes the toss. Outside and low. Ball 1. Bredis almost had a really big RBI earlier, but it was caught. Line drive to center field. Right in there for strike 1. 89 mile per hour slider. The count is even with 2 outs. 11 hits for the Rays, 8 for the Astros. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Orrs in the dirt. 2-1. I need some more coffee. Some more coffee. I need myself some more coffee. I don't even know exactly what accent that's supposed to be. Here comes the 2-1. 89 at the top of the zone over on the right side. Is it going to be playable? Right at the dugout. Bounces off the Astros dugout. No play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The beginning of the rally. Now's a good time. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Seems like a great time for a 5-run rally. Astros style, baby. Let's do it. Now there are 2 outs and 2 strikes. Perfect time for a 5-run rally. Here's the pitch to Paredes. Paredes doesn't get with the program. He strikes out. Swing and a miss. He socked the ball. Janai. A little bit of Japanese there. Janai. It just basically means not. If you say hit Janai, it just means no hit. Hit ja arimasen. That's the more polite way to say it. Hit wa arimasen. It means there's no hit. Nothing doing for the Astros at all in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th. Astros just within striking distance, 3-8 against the Rays in game 1 of this 4-game series at home. 8-3. Each team with 1 error. The Rays with 11 hits, the Astros with 8. The Rays have just as many runs as the Astros have hits. How do you like that statistic? I would guess that Ort stays in the game. He's only thrown 8 pitches. He better stay in the game. If he doesn't, I'm going to wonder what's wrong with Espada's mind today. Why is he pulling the pitchers out so soon? Sergio says, I binge watched year 1 of your other YouTube channel about your house. You're living my 12-year-old dream. $5,000 house with $1 million view. You know, it's so funny you say that, Sergio, because there are so many things that I would do here if I were younger. Exploring the forests and all of those things. I just don't have the ability to do it right now. First pitch from Ort, who's still in the game, thankfully. Fouled off for strike 1. He's facing Josh Lowe. There are so many places to see and explore around here. My childhood curiosity would not allow me to not explore. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It used to be my knees became so painful that it kept me from exploring, but now it's not that. It's just the anemia related to my current health condition. High and outside. Ball 1, 2-1. I'm sorry, 1-2. But I am seriously considering going on a strict fast, guys, an all-liquid fast, so please keep me in your prayers. That ball's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ort to Low. Ort low. Here comes the next pitch. Little check swing foul. The count remains 2-2. If any of you pray, I would appreciate you just praying one prayer for me. Just say, Lord, thank you for Brandon's good health. That's all you have to say. That's all I request. Low and inside. Ball 3. The cutter missing. Full count. Ort takes a little stroll around the mound, straightens up his sleeves a little bit. Back on the rubber. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Low. High and outside, ball 4. Another walk. One of the only ones issued, maybe the only one issued by a reliever. so far after Gusto issued several earlier in the game. Shoot says, damn, it was 3-3 when I left. What happened? Man, you don't want to know. Brian King, unfortunately, just got blew up. He got blew up. He was blown up in the fifth. Low, huge jump, easily still second. Not surprised. Runner on second. There's no reason for them to delay at all. The Rays can just steal on the Astros at will, so why do they even bother waiting? Just automatically steal. Just give them the 100% green light. He should steal third on this very next pitch. Here comes the toss from Ort. High. Ball one. The count is 1-1. One ball, one strike. Runner on second. High and outside. Ball two. 2-1. I'm surprised that Lowe hasn't already stolen third. Oh, I thought it was 2-1. It's 3-0. My bad. The information on the screen was wrong. 3 straight balls from Ort. Here's the next pitch. Strike in the top of the zone. Brandon Lau acted like that was ball 4, but luckily it was called a strike, even though it was technically above the zone. For some reason, Ort throwing a lot of balls right now. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Lau. Low, ball 4. That is a ball. Back-to-back walks. Unsure what's going through Ort's mind right now. He's suddenly acting like King, uncharacteristically doing things that he doesn't normally do. Forrest Whitley is going in the Astros bullpen. They're just going through the relievers today. You have to think that they wouldn't be going through these relievers right now if they had left in Sosa and left in Okert. Probably still have a tie game right now. That's my guess. Probably this inning, Brian King would be pitching, and he wouldn't have gotten lit up. That's just my feeling. First pitch to Yandy Diaz is a ball. Here comes the next one. 1-0. Fouled off. The count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shoot says, how does fasting work? Fasting, it depends on how you fast. If you do a liquid fast, it just means you drink things like tea, water, coffee, but you don't add anything to it. No sugar, no cream, no milk. None of that. You don't drink things like milk. You have to drink, quote, clear liquids, you know? Coffee and tea, they're not clear, but what I mean is you don't add anything to it, and you don't drink anything that's animal related, so you can't drink milk. You can't drink juice that has sugar in it. You can't have any sugar, and you can't have any solid foods. That's what true fasting is. Here comes the next pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2-2 is the count against Yandy Diaz. Runners on second and third. Ort looking for his first out of the inning. They also have dry fasting. Shoot. Dry fasting means you don't drink or eat anything. Literally nothing. That's hardcore. Here's the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and that gets away. Runners are going to advance easily. Runners move from first and second to second and third. Full count. Yandy Diaz at the plate with a full count. Runners on second and third. No outs. We might have bases loaded with no outs. Ort suddenly digging himself a big hole. Here comes the full count pitch. Swinging a foul ball. Count remains 3-2. Sergio says your kidney will regenerate. Thank you, Sergio. I believe so too. The doctor has an absolutely worst case scenario opinion. But appearances and reality are not always the same thing. Swing and a half swing miss. A half swing miss, a strikeout for Caleb Ort. Thank you, goodness gracious, thank you. Out number 1. About a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, just a little outside, and he went after it. Got him to chase. Out number 1. Whoops. I didn't mean to put that on the screen. Click the wrong thing. First pitch is in the dirt. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Jonathan Aranda comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3 today with a double and an RBI. He's also scored twice. The pitch coming in just a moment. The 1-0. That'll be 2-0. 4-seam fastball missing way upstairs. Sergio says, I did a 100-day fast utilizing the Master Cleanser Lemonade Mixture, 1 gallon spring water, real lemon juice, 6 lemons, and cayenne pepper. Yeah, it's great stuff. What was the result of that? I'd like to hear about it. This pitch is fouled back and out of play for strike 1. 2-1. Sergio, I'd love to hear about the results there. My main thing is kicking in the autophagy. If you guys know what autophagy is, it's when the body starts breaking down its own cells and eating it. After you burn fat, it starts breaking down and eating cells and rebuilding tissues and things like that. High, ball 3. 3-1 for Ort with 1 out, runners on second and third. But anyway, autophagy can help break down tumors because the body begins to eat the tumor. But it means you can't have any energy or sugar in the body and no solid foods. That ball is hit down the first baseline, foul. Strike 2, full count. But the only way to get real autophagy is to not eat and not get any energy. So that means no sugar, no carbs, or anything like that going into your body. Sergio says fasting is only difficult for the first 4 days. Your body acclimates. The flesh is strong. It's the will. Yeah, well, it's not just the will. It depends on the health of your body and some other things. Because if your body is struggling with a disease like mine, fouled off, count remains 3-2. Then fasting becomes like 10 or 12 times harder. Very, very difficult to get through. It's not about willpower. It's about your body shutting down and being overloaded because you can't overload your organs. But it's also about the addictions that you have to the elements in your body. Is there going to be strike 3? A check swing. They say he did not go around. Are you kidding me? Wow. Espada's really upset about that, but he's going to change from Ort. We have bases loaded now with no outs. I'm sorry, 1 out. 1 out. Ort's day is finished, guys. Bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Ort takes a seat. 11 hits for the Rays. A few walks there for Ort. But yeah, if you have a generally healthy diet and you're getting a lot of fruits and vegetables and good things like that, and then you start fasting, then you don't really, it's not really difficult to fast because you don't have withdrawals. What a lot of people don't realize is that if you're getting a lot of dairy and sugar and caffeine and things like that in your body, these things are literally like drugs. You become addicted to those things. And when you start fasting, your body goes through withdrawal. I think the vast majority of people don't realize this. But how many people do you know who've said, "Oh man, it's past lunchtime and I have a headache. I need to eat." And they say it like it's normal, but that is not normal. Oh, well, you could say it's normal because it's common, but it's actually abnormal. It's unhealthy If you're getting a headache because you haven't had lunch yet, or you have lunch too late, that's a bad sign. It means that there's stuff you're addicted to. And people talk about it like that's just the way the body works. If you don't get lunch on time, then you start feeling bad or you start having headaches or whatever. But if that happens, it literally means you're having withdrawals. It means you're not getting the sugar or the dairy or the caffeine or whatever that you're used to getting. And the body is getting upset about that. So when you start fasting, getting through those first few days is difficult primarily because of those withdrawal symptoms. If you have someone to help support you and take care of you, then you can get through that so much easier. But I'm by myself and way out in the countryside. I have no one to help me. Plus, I have the tumor and the kidney tumor. It's more challenging. Wow, that first hit off Whitley is rocketed off the wall. That's going to score a couple of runs. One pitch just like that. 2 more runs. That's 10-3 Rays. Very first pitch to Junior Caminero. Off the wall. This crowd is absolutely quiet right now. They're not even booing. I would imagine they're just leaving. 10-3. The Rays lead this game. May as well go ahead and give them all the runs. Just give them the runs. Give them the runs. Come on, Astros. Give them the laxatives. More people are getting up and leaving. You can see them in the background. Astros fans are just leaving. Next batter is Chandler Simpson. First pitch is low and inside. 10-3. The Astros are only down by 7. We're still in this. 12 hits for the Rays. Here's the next pitch. Low. Just barely misses for ball 2. Sergio says, I'm believing that you'll be healed. Thank you. I'm also believing that the Astros will learn for losing today's game. Yeah. Mental errors were made by our coach. Caratini's there at first base and Diaz's wild throw. Yeah. Little errors has led to a big... and, of course, Brian King. It's not completely King's fault, but, you know, he did give up 5 runs. 3 balls now for Forrest Whitley against Simpson. That one's in there, thankfully. 95 mile per hour strike. Three balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Runners on the corners. No, not on the corners, on second and third. My bad. Little fly ball into left field. DeCenzo comes in and grabs it. Too shallow for a tag, so Aranda goes back to third base. 2 away. That brings up Cameron Meisner. Runners on second and third. The Rays with about 100 steals today and 1,000 runs and a couple thousand hits. First pitch to Meisner is on the way. Swing and a miss. Oh and 1 is the count. I would place a lot of the responsibility at Espada's feet today, though, so I agree with you 100%. That pitch was just out of the zone for ball 1, 1-1. One and one pitch from Whitley on the way to Meisner. Right on the outside edge, strike 2. Nice edge pitch. 1-2. Massively disappointing game for the fans, that's for sure. Here's the next pitch. Now it's hit hard to right field, all the way out to the wall, and it's going to bounce off the wall. That's going to be more runs. 2 more runs at least. 12-3 Rays. Meisner with a double off the wall. Rays continue their onslaught. 4 runs this inning. So 9 runs in 2 innings for the Rays. Look at that. 9 runs in 2 innings. Jose Caballero comes to the plate with a runner on second. 2 outs. Foul tip into the glove. Strike 1. Tampa Bay just destroying the Astros bullpen today. This is set all the way out to the Crawford boxes, and it is off the top of the wall. Is that a homer? Yes, it is. 2-run home run. 2 more runs. 14-3 Rays. Whitley now has some earned runs. This is a hitting practice game for the Rays. 5 runs in the last inning, 6 runs this inning. They're doing a crew chief review of that home run to make sure it was a home run. Yeah, it's off the yellow line. It hit the yellow at the top of the wall. That's a home run. That should be a home run, right? If it's the yellow. It was ruled a home run, and they're going to review it to see. It's a crew chief review. But if it is that yellow at the top, isn't that a home run? I thought it was. We'll see. They're going to show it again here. We'll see. They sent it to New York for a review. As it stands right now, it's 14-3. Astros are only down by 11 runs. We still got some ball to play. 2 more chances. 2 more chances. It's just an 11-run game. That didn't actually hit the rail. It hit the top of the wall. Oh, wow. Hey, they overturned it, guys. They got the call right in New York. It didn't actually hit the rail. It hit the top of the wall, and that does not count as a home run. That will be a double. The Rays will only get 1 run off of that. And we'll have a double instead. So we have a runner on second with 2 outs. 13-3. So the run differential swings heavily in the Astros' favor. Instead of being down by 11, we are just down by 10. This game is well within reach. Matt Thaiss comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. Low in the zone, but a strike. Man, this crowd is really thinning out. People are leaving right and left right now. But even so, even if I were at the game, I would not be leaving. I would be sticking around. Some of my favorite guys are on the field. Foul tip at the plate, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Forrest Whitley at the plate. His ERA is up to 9. 5 runs in the 7th and the 8th for the Rays. No big deal. The Astros can handle it. That's inside off of his foot. He's going to go to first. He limps down to first base. Runners on first and second with that wild pitch. The inning continues. Check this out. The Astros are 3rd in the MLB in relief ERA, 3.12, but this game is really going to hurt them a lot. Next batter is Josh Lowe. Here comes the pitch. Right in there for strike one. 6 appearances at the plate for Josh Lowe today. 6! And it's the 8th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Way outside. Ball 1. 1-1. Sergio says, I hate to be negative, but I felt trouble brewing when I saw Caratini playing first base. Yeah, I was surprised to see him over there. I didn't get that. And they said that Walker was available. Why the mixed signals? If he's available and he can play and he's feeling okay, why wouldn't you have him on the field for game 1 against the Rays? 1-2. Here comes a pitch from Whitley. High for ball 2. The count is even. Sergio says, I'll reach out to you to talk about my 100-day fast. Hunger strikes are said to be difficult, but a fast is more spiritual. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what do you know? A strikeout for Whitley. Finally, the inning is over. The nightmare is over of the past 2 innings. Whitley gets the final out. But not before giving up 5 more runs. This game was so close for the first 6 innings. We were tied up. And then suddenly, 7th and 8th, the Rays just go gangbusters. 5 runs in the 7th, 5 runs in the 8th. And now we're down by 10. Astros have 2 more opportunities. That's the good side. You know, the thing about this is why baseball is so different than other sports, because there's not a time limit on this game. It's a matter of outs. So it's not like the Astros are completely out of opportunities. Bottom of the 8th coming up. And Jose Altuve, who had the solo home run in the 6th and tied the game up, he will be at the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. Sergio says that's the difference between a true fan and those who are only in it for the high times. That's the thing. I mean, I think I mentioned to you guys before, I've been to see a few games with my brother, different types of games. But, you know, one of the games that we liked to go to before were the LSU Tigers home football games. Those games are awesome. Even if you're not a big football fan, I would highly recommend going to see a night game at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And the reason is because it's absolutely insane. The stadium holds over 100,000 people, which makes baseball parks look so tiny. And the energy and the power of those games is insane, especially against an opponent that the fans really can't stand. Oh, Altuve is not batting. Salazar is in the game, so they pull Altuve to relax. No more DHing for Altuve today. Cesar Salazar comes to the plate. In the box. Batting lefty. Here comes the first pitch from Eric Orrs. Right in there for strike 1. So it looks like the Astros are giving up on trying to score runs, just bringing in some relief players. Here's the 0-1 pitch, right in there for strike 2. Salazar takes the first 2 pitches right down the pipe. Calls timeout. It'll be really nice to get done with this game and get myself some food real quick. I've got a meeting here in less than an hour. A guy is coming out to take a look at a trench that I need dug for my septic system. Fouled off of the plate. Count remains 0-2. That's some good news, is that that's off of Dice's hand. He got hit a little bit with that ball. He's walking it off. You can see it right here. Right off his right hand. He wasn't... Yeah, his hand wasn't really hid very well. Why do I keep clicking on the wrong buttons there? They're taking a look at it. I think he'll probably be okay. He seems all right. But yeah, if you guys haven't followed my other channel, you can check it out. It's called Akia Kominka Life. If you look that up on YouTube, that's me. Here comes the pitch to Salazar. Takes that one for ball 1, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anyway, the update about that other channel is that I've got a guy coming today to take a look at digging a hole for me for a septic. Salazar hits that out to right field. It's going to be a fly ball out for the first of the inning. 1 away. Caratini is due up. But you would not believe the regulations, the bureaucracy, and the red tape that exists here in Japan just to get the simplest things done. I just wanted somebody to come out with a mini backhoe and dig a small hole, dig a few little trenches for some water pipe. And man, it has been so difficult. But luckily, the local city office, the small town office here, they've been so nice to help me out. They're sending out a guy today to take a look at it. First pitch to Caratini. No, not Caratini. Chas McCormick is in. They got another pinch hitter in the game. Here's the pitch. Check swing, but it doesn't matter. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Astros just pulling out all their players. I guess everybody's going to have a pinch hitter. You get a pinch hitter. You get a pinch hitter. Everybody gets a pinch hitter. So the Rays, everybody gets a run. Everybody gets a hit. For the Astros, it's everybody gets a pinch hitter. 2 balls and 1 strike to McCormick. In about 45 minutes, that guy will be out here to talk with me about that hole that I need dug in those trenches. Swing and a miss by McCormick. 2-2 is the count. If I can get those holes dug for a reasonable price, then I might have myself a temporary septic system installed very soon. Here's the next pitch. Hit high in the right field area. Is it going to drop? No. The right fielder is able to get there and catch it in foul territory. Out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. Astros looking kind of similar to most of the rest of the game. This is feeling like the 9th inning, but it's just the 8th. Jake Meyers comes to the plate 0 for 3 today. No substitute for Mr. Baseball. There is no substitute. Here comes the first pitch from Orrs. Swing and a miss, low in the zone, 88 miles an hour on that slider. Strike 1. Sergio says coach conceded the game with 6 outs to make a difference. Myers fouls off that next pitch. Strike 2. 0-2. Espada sitting over there. Yeah, man, you think about what you've done today. You think about it. You sit in that corner and you think about what you've done. Oh, goodness gracious. 0-2 to Myers with 2 outs. Eric Orrs with 23 pitches. Here comes the 24th. In the dirt. Ball 1. Sergio says, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we win tomorrow's game as lopsided as today's loss. I agree. Strike 3. Myers takes it and walks away. Takes it like a man and walks away. Out 3. Out 3. He walks away. Out 3. 3 up and 3 down for the Astros in the 8th. No comeback right now, but we've got one more inning of baseball to go, thankfully. Aren't you guys happy? 13-3. We are down by 10 runs. But we have another inning of baseball to go. We can do it. I wonder if they're going to leave Whitley on the mound or if they're going to bring in yet another reliever. I kind of wish that they would just leave Whitley in there and let him take the damage, because I don't want to see another reliever come in and get beat up. Just let him stay in there. And let him stay in there. Even if he gives up 5 more runs, just don't mess around with the bullpen anymore, Espada, please. Mark says, oh no, it's bad. Oh, it's been bad for the past few innings. But the good news is I've got 36 likes. I'm just 4 away from 40, but I have a feeling that I won't be getting to 40 today. Unless some Rays fans come in and say, ha ha ha, and then like the live stream because of the result that they see on the screen. If they do, that's fine. I don't mind getting the likes. I don't mind the likes. The likes. Interested to see who the Astros are going to have on the mound. They do have a new pitcher. Salazar. Oh, they have Cesar Salazar, a position player. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They've got Cesar Salazar on the mound right now. The Astros, Espada has officially given up. I kid you not, guys. Cesar Salazar, who pinch hitted for Jose Altuve, is now on the mound, throwing batting practice for the Rays. How was that not a strike? It was right in there. Next pitch, 56 miles an hour. Next pitch, 57. Too far inside. Ball 1. Ball 2. Here's the next pitch. This pitch is popped up. Yiner is back, and he makes the catch. Out number 1. Cesar Salazar gets the first out. Look at that. Little fist pump, little hand in the air by Salazar. Well, he's doing better than some of the relievers did. Yandy Diaz comes to the plate, takes the first pitch as a strike. 56 miles an hour. Here's the next pitch. 59 fouled back. Strike 2. 0-2. Here comes the next pitch. Hey, Yandy Diaz flies out to left field. 2 outs for Salazar. How do you like that? Salazar showing the relievers how it's done. At least somebody on the Astros can be happy right now. 2 up and 2 down. The next batter is Aranda, Jonathan Aranda. He takes that first pitch in there, 57 miles an hour for strike 1. Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. 1-1. Salazar pitching pretty quickly, actually. Here's the next one. Oh, he hit him? Aranda didn't move out of the way at all. He just stood there and took it. The crowd is booing. Look at this. He didn't do anything. He just stood there. He didn't try to get out of the way at all. Runner on first with 2 outs. That first pitch is in there. 59 miles an hour for strike 1 to Junior Caminero. Here's the next pitch. Hit high in the air. This could be out number 3. Salazar gets through the inning. Can you believe that? Cesar Salazar gets through the top of the 9th without giving up a single hit. 3 up and 4 down with 1 hit batter. He does better than any of the Astros relievers so far. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's got to make the bullpen look so bad. A position player comes out, throws pitches in the 50s. No hits. That's insane. Absolutely insane. The best pitcher for the Astros this entire game is a position player. Absolutely nuts. Oh, man. Yeah. Sergio says, I believe Framber Valdez is pitching tomorrow. I love Framber. He pitches with a chip on his shoulder. Yeah, he doesn't have quite the chip that Hunter Brown does. But the only thing about Framber is that sometimes he can get a little emotional. Things can get to him a lot better than things get to Hunter. If unfavorable things happen to Hunter Brown, he just gets stronger, more focused, and angrier. But if unfavorable things happen to Framber, he has to be careful because he can get a little shaky and rattled. Sergio says, Coach is spreading around the demoralization. Big mistake. Yeah. Yeah, and he was sitting over there by himself in the dugout, just sitting there kind of by himself. He's not around the players, I don't like that. I want to see him up and doing stuff and being with the players. I want to see some energy. Salazar pitching with a smile like an ace. Yes, Sergio, he looked like he was having fun. At least one Astro can have fun. The fans that stayed in the stadium, though, they were enjoying it. Cole Sulser is on the mound for the Rays. 9 appearances this year for the Rays. He's facing Yainer Diaz. First pitch is on the way. Low and outside, ball 1. Last attempt at a comeback for the Astros. 13-3, 14 hits for the Rays, 8 for the Astros. Here comes the second pitch. Hit up the middle and caught by the second baseman. Soft line drive, out number 1. Brandon Lau right there for that play. This game is going to end right on time. Cam Smith comes to the plate. He's had a pretty good game today. 2 for 3 with a double. Stolen base and a run scored. Here comes the first pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. I'll have just enough time to grab a snack and get ready to meet this guy about my septic tank dig. Swing and a miss on the outside. A terrible pitch to be swinging at. 1-1 is the count. Mark says, okay, got a fighter's chance. A fighter with his hands tied behind his back. Yeah, both hands. Fouled off. Strike 2. 1-2 is the count with 1 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 9th. This crowd is, man, almost completely empty. The stands. Whew. It increases your chance for a ball, though, right? There are fewer people out there. That one's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch. Wow, line drive. Hit really hard and caught by the third baseman. He robbed Cam of another hit. Out number 2. That was a rip. Look at this one. Just within reach. Next batter is DeCenzo. Takes a big swing at that pitch and misses it for strike 1. DeCenzo hasn't done anything today. He did reach on an error, but otherwise he's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. Bounces in the dirt and foul. Not foul. Out of play, I guess you could say. Bounces in the dirt into the backstop. 1-1. 10th pitch for Sulser coming up in just a moment. 2 outs, nobody on. Strike, swing and a miss on that cutter. 1 ball, 2 strikes to DeCenzo. 1 strike away from finally ending the bleeding here. the hemorrhaging, the flatlining. Strike 3, DeCenzo goes down, and that's it. I'm going to go ahead and stop that right there. We don't need to see any more. The Astros lose this game 13-3 in terrible fashion. Just absolute terrible fashion. I'm going to give you guys a very quick recap of this, and then I'm going to be out of here. Maybe a quick preview for tomorrow's game. I'll be the first to buy Salazar beer if I ever meet him. I don't know if I'd buy him a beer for that. I mean, I'm glad he had a nice little outing. But because of the results of the game, I'm sure that I'll forget about his little outing quite soon. I'll be thinking about the next game. Looking forward to that. Let's take a quick look. Real quickly. A quick look real quickly. The scoring summary. I'm going to go through this really fast, guys, because, you know, look at the scoreboard. In the first inning, the Rays struck immediately. Sacrifice fly to right, Lowe scored. 1-0. Fourth inning, Meisner struck out. Simpson scored on a throwing error by Diaz, 2-0 Rays. In the top of the fifth, Caminero singled to left. Aranda scored. Caminero to second, 3-0 Rays. In the bottom of the fifth, Yainer homered to center, 430 feet blast, 3-1. In the fifth inning, still, Dubon singled, scoring Smith, 3-2 Astros. In the sixth, Altuve tied up the game with a homer to left center field, 399 feet, 3-3. But after that, the Rays went bonkers. In the seventh, scoring 5 off of King. Diaz singled to right. Aranda doubled to right. Caminero homered to right center. 5 runs scored, 8-3 Rays. In the eighth, the Rays did it again. 5 more runs tacked on. Caminero doubled to left. Meisner doubled to right. Caminero doubled off the left field wall. 13-3. Rays would get up on the Astros, and that's where the game ended. 13 runs off 14 hits for the Rays. Talk about run production. Astros only 3 runs on 8 hits. Very disappointing day, especially for the Astros relievers. Unfortunately, Gusto, despite not having a bad day in the way of hits and runs, his pitch count was so high and he had several walks. He was not able to stay in the game for very long. And Espada made some questionable decisions about the relievers, and that led to a big-time loss. Speaking of loss, Brian King gets the loss today. He only pitched .1 innings and gave up 5 runs. It was absolutely horrible. Definitely not like him to do that. Uceta gets the win with just .1 innings pitched. And the Astros are going to be playing Game 2. This is a 4-game series against the Rays. Tomorrow we have Framber Valdez on the mound, and he will be facing off against Ryan Pepio. And this game, I believe the Astros are favored to win. Let me see. Yeah, 59%, 59.3% according to the matchup predictor. But we'll see how it goes. If Framber has a decent game, then the Astros can definitely win. Hopefully, it's like we were saying earlier. Was it Sergio? Sergio, was it you that said that the game tomorrow could be lopsided? Could be the opposite, right? The Astros today get destroyed. Maybe they destroy the Mariners tomorrow. Could be. It really could be. Mark says, thanks for the feed. You're welcome. Happy to feed you, my friend. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the 36 likes, the new subscribers, all the comments, as usual, as always. Thank you so much. Sergio says, take care, Brennan. The beer is for his smile while being fed to the hounds. Yeah, that's one thing. Like I said earlier, at least one guy is out there enjoying the game. Sergio says the good news is that the Mariners are losing 2-0 in the 7th. That's good. We need it, especially today. It's nice to see the Mariners lose, but sure would be great to get first place, wouldn't it? Hopefully we can do that in the next couple of games. So let me leave a message in the chat. Thank you, guys and gals, as always. Have a good day, and as usual, go Stros. I'll say see you tomorrow. And I'm going to pin that in the chat. Pin that. Pin it. Now I'm going to go to meet a guy about digging me a septic tank hole. He should be here in about 20 minutes, 20 or 25 minutes. Thank you again. Love you guys. The only thing left to say now is Go Stros. See